everybody. Welcome aboard. Happy Friday. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're here for another Friday night stream. We're going to hope that Twitch can keep it together this evening. It's already had some issues, but it's cool. It's cool. I can hear myself breathing, so let's try that right there and see if that helps. It's not so mobile. Welcome aboard. CMC Mini, good to see you. Ray River, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you as well. I'll do my best, buddy. Are you taking off already? You stop in, say hello, but like I'm out of here. CMTE Douglas, good to see you. Scooby Doo, welcome aboard. Cooper Fish, welcome aboard. The Garage Gamer, welcome aboard. Did I miss anybody? I'm sure I did. I always miss people. We'll get you here in a second, though. Let's do some subscriptions here. We got 2 of them in there. The official Jake, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers, my friend. And Stir, welcome aboard. Or welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you for your support. Cheers to you guys. Hope you're doing well. Lurbu, welcome aboard. Flight Factor A320 is not out. Unless it came out just now. In which case, well, that's interesting. I had my first hour log today. Had a great time in Chicago. Nice. So yeah, well, I mean, Uberbot, good to see you, Ben. So we'll talk a little bit more about flight training and kind of all that stuff. But I did some solo flying last week. It was nice. I did my first night flight last night. We did the night cross country trip, and that was a hoot. So we'll talk about that once we're up in the air. We're going to be flying tonight, though. We're going to be flying the IXEG 737 Classic. Trip Frost, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. Appreciate it. RC Flyer, welcome aboard. Frank T, good to see you, man. Vegas Flyer, happy Friday. SWFL Ethan, happy Friday to you as well. Which stand am I at? I don't know. I'm at one of the American stands. I'm next to another American here, I think. I think that's a real person. But I'm at gate A49 right now. So yeah, we'll be flying the IXEG 737 Classic. And this was recently updated yet again for X-Plane 11. Like actual proper X-Plane 11 support this time. So that's pretty sweet. Dutchman Takes Flight. Welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. Appreciate it. I already filed my flight plan. I'll pop up ForeFlight here. That's a flight plan that I'm working with, except I will then put the arrival as well for you. So if anybody wants to come fly along, we'll be on VATSIM tonight. Ye ol' VATSIM. We're going to fly into the FNO this evening. Go say hi to AJ up there in Minneapolis. And there's been a lot of people bugging me about going to Minneapolis, too. I think AJ's actually streaming. Let's see here. Ground point niner. So let's start with this. Let me get the route plugged in here. I'm a little bit late today. I'm a little bit late getting going because Twitch was like practically down when I tried to push the live when I went to push the live button. So I decided to defer. And I think we're planning for 12 right. There's a 12B. That's interesting. Not 30 right. We'll say 12 left. I'm not entirely sure what 12B is. I'm going to say maybe 12B is supposed to be 12 right. But we'll put 12 left in there for now. So yeah, anyway, here's the flight. Here's the plan that we're going to be following. If anybody wants to come out of Denver, I'll leave it up here for just a second. Yeah. Looking forward to it. 12 base. Interesting. I have not seen that notation before. And then, so yeah, the flight plan tonight is going to take us out to Minneapolis. So we'll do flight plan, come into Sky Vector here. So we're going to be KDEN, KMSP, and then Osh. So we're going to head to Osh Kosh by way of Minneapolis from Denver. This first flight here is going to take us about a little over an hour, probably an hour and a half or so. And then the second flight should be a nice quick hop. But Osh has had some pretty crappy weather for the most part of the day. A lot of storms and whatnot. So I suspect that I'm hoping it'll be at least be an interesting arrival once we get in there. But we'll kind of see what happens. Blues 2000, welcome back. Thank you very much for 2 months of support. Always fun watching the streams when I'm able to make it. I'm happy to have you here. Blaine Ben, good to see you, man. Facebook tells me it's Plain Ben's birthday today. Happy birthday, buddy. Boy Wonder, welcome aboard. J10GB, it's good to see you. Pat Dog, happy Friday. Anybody else I missed? I think I got them all. Sagittarian, welcome aboard. The Surf Murph's in the house.
Yeah, I've had them a few times. I know.
Good to see all you guys tonight. Rudyism, welcome aboard.
All right. Well, it's a little slow right now, so.
Oh, crap. Yeah. I was like, why am I hearing voices? But anyway, ground point niner here. This guy right here. This is AJ, and AJ is going to be probably one of our controllers. It looks like as we're coming in this evening. So we'll be saying hi to AJ later on. But if you guys want to go say hi to him now, feel free to. But yeah, so this is we're flying the VATSIM FNO tonight. The VATSIM FNO is taking us into Minneapolis, St. Paul. We'll be heading there out of Denver. Then we're gonna head to Osh Kosh after that. IXEG 737. And I think I've talked enough about the beginning of the flight. Rudyism, hello. Casey Flyer, hello. Good to see you guys. Right, quit. Welcome aboard. You guys are all coming in as I'm trying to get this thing going. You're killing me here. We'll pop inside the sucker here. So this is the IXEG 737-300. I think they call it the 737 Classic. The Take Command 737. I don't even know what they call it. This is a good plane. Updated version 1.2. X-Plane 11 support. Looks real pretty. Looks real beautiful. They've even added like a proper cabin for those that might want to see something like this. Although, you know, the texture quality is maybe could be a little better, but that's okay. But what we're going to do is get this thing going and get the hell out of here. Because we have a pretty good amount of flying to do tonight, and I don't want to be here all night. So, not that I don't want to spend time with you guys, but I don't want to spend like 4 hours or 5 hours doing just a handful of flights here. Because we want to go watch Alan. Alan has told me, Rush Aerosim Gaming, whatever we're going to call him, has promised me that he's going to be spending all night in Playmaker. So I'm looking forward to going there and giving him crap for not actually flying his airplanes. Farmer Medic, thank you for 4 months. Clocky 180, thanks for 2 months. Hello to you as well, sir. Cheers, my friends. Tig Alert, Tig Alert, good to see you. Yeah, I don't like you guys. No, it's too late. Too late, lost cause, all that good stuff. You know, that's how it goes. So yeah, anyway, this thing I put the plane into a turnaround state and I turned off the APU. So you guys got the route now. We'll put that away. Turned off the APU just because I don't like the outside sounds and all that while I'm getting the stream started up here. So we'll get that cranked on here momentarily. But the first thing we want to do is call up clearance. And get our clearance so we can get out of here. Now, when I checked earlier, Denver was fully staffed. So I'm hoping that's still the case. Because that's going to make for a pretty good evening if that's actually the case. Right Quit is here, colon WQ for 4 months. Thank you very much for your continued support, sir. I love the reference there. Osh Kosh is starting to dry out. Oh, that's all right. We'll still have fun getting in there. So we'll go to preferences, and nope, not preferences. Oh crap! I didn't want to do that. Let's go to show who's online. Oh yeah, we got a full house here at Denver. Denver has an ATIS, but we're not going to worry about that yet. Denver clearance. Denver delivery is 1875, so we'll give him a ring first. 1875 gets a chance to do a little sound check here, make sure everything's functioning. Oops. Make sure everything is functioning.
Retard.
Ty Gellert, thank you for your 3 months of support, sir. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. Chemo, good to see you, man. It does work. Mike Juliet Lehman, welcome aboard. Luis Manza, welcome aboard. Good to see you guys. It's Jaden, good to see you. It's a dreadful lag today. Anybody else experiencing this? Nothing that I've noticed so far, but I was watching a couple streams earlier, didn't have too many issues. I'll blame your Aussie internet on that. Drew the Mad Dog Pilot, welcome aboard. Yeah, not on pilotage for Denver. Because we're heading east. We're heading out to Minneapolis. So we're gonna fly in the VATSIM FNO tonight. So that's why we're not on pilotage at Denver.
Retard.
Ollie Tire Fire, welcome to the Redline Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. Appreciate it. Surf Murph, good to see you, man. Whitsim, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Instead of KOSK, fly into WN17. I don't know where WN17 is. Probably not going to get in there with my 737, though. Ice Neck, good to see you. Give me a minute to brace my ears. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, there's my push to talk. Let's see if this thing's actually going to work today. So we'll turn that up.
American 1299.
Hey!
Quickly amendment to your flight plan.
First try, it worked. So we're going to be Cactus 717.
It's all right.
AWE 717. We're going to be Denver.
American 1299.
To Minneapolis.
Flight level 330.
Got our craft going on there.
Roger, flight level 330, American 1299.
Not even sure what I filed. I filed 350 for the flight
American
level.
1299.
That'll be climb by
I follow whatever it tells me to file, so we're good there. Couldn't need another beer, yeah, no kidding. This is already number 2 tonight. It's gonna be one of those nights. WN17 is some sort of porn airport. Aha. Go there every few years. Go to Minneapolis every few years to see my parents for Christmas. Nice, dude. Benny, now that you mention it, man, I am seeing a couple buffers over here on the old preview, so it might just be Twitch as being Twitch. Mice Buster, good to see you, man. We're flying the IXEG tonight. Denver Clarence, good evening. Cactus 717, IFR to Minneapolis.
Cactus 717, Denver delivery, cleared to Minneapolis, St. Paul via the Oshkosh departure transition that is filed. Climb via the SIDX that maintain 10,000. Departure frequency 120.35. Squawk is 0651.
Clear to the Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, Yokes 5. Then is filed. Climb via SIDX that maintain 10,000. Departure 120.35. Squawk is 0651. Cactus 717.
Cactus 717, I like your energy. Over to ground 121.85 when ready to taxi.
Will do. Have a great night, man. Thanks. All right. We'll turn him down now. Let's get the sucker programmed up. I'm going to get people and fuel loaded in here, so we'll head to the ground services tab. Pop our way outside. Let's see. We're going to want 17,700 pounds of fuel. Okay, let's just make that an even 18. And as far as weight goes, we're going to look for zero fuel weight of 96.7. 96.7 from the Russian judge. Okay, that's good there. And we'll close you. Come on back in here. Let's get the sucker programmed up. Pop you. What is this? No. Don't show me tips. I know how to use this plane. Except I don't, apparently, because I forgot that I had to punch all this stuff in manually. Okay. Gross weight is currently 132.0. 132.0. And our reserves today are going to be 5.2. 5.2. And I don't know what the planned fuel is. We'll just leave, I don't know, we'll just leave that blank. Sure, whatever, who cares? Cost index. Cost index is going to be 9. Ugh. Apparently we're not going very fast. And 35,000 feet. 35,000. Cruise winds. 261 at 33. 261/33. ISA deviation is going to be positive 12. And we'll go to the N1 limits here. We're going to flex this sucker to 45. And we will derate the crap out of the takeoff because it's Denver and we have so much runway to work with. Famous last words. And we'll go flaps 5. That's great. So V1 144, V rotate 146, V2 153. Trim is going to be 3.4. So let's come down here and set that real quick. Trim 3.4, that's about right there. Great. Get rid of you. And we'll go to the route page from KDEN, KDEN. Denver, Minneapolis, Osh Kosh tonight. on VATSIM. So if you want to come join us, you probably got about 20 minutes before we get off the ground. Yeah, right. To Denver, we're going to plan for 3-4 right. Actually, let me check the ATIS real quick and make sure. So I'm going to cheat, and we're going to use VATSPY. Actually, we can just call the ATIS up, can't we? Denver ATIS is offline. We can't call the ATIS up. There is no ATIS. There should be. Approach, delivery, ground. No ATIS. Okay, whatever. We're going to plan for 3-4 right then. So let's see here. I need to do the Yokes departure to Chi-Chi. And we'll plan for 3-4 right. Chi-Chi. No, not BFF. Let's try that again. Departing from Denver. Yokes 5. Chi-Chi. 3-4 right. Route. Activate. Execute. Unable cruise altitudes. Yeah, right. We can make it at cruise altitude. Just got to give me time to finish this. Let's go to the route page. Go to the next page. Yokes to... Not yokes to yokes. Yokes to... Oh, boy. I'm not getting the warm and fuzzies from this FMC right now. So we'll pull up... not from MSP. From Denver. The Yokes 5 RNAV departure. Iris, Vela, Yokes, and then Chi-Chi. We'll just punch it in there. We're just going to cheat, because that's how we roll. Chi-Chi.
Retard.
Couldn't agree more. Okay. Nick Bolus, thank you very much for 7 months of support. He says thanks for all the laughs. I guess that's what we're going for. Cheers, my friend. Appreciate it. I never changed the fuel, did I? Oh yeah, that would have been inconvenient. And we'll redo the gross weight too. Boy, that would have been bad. Thanks for the pro tip there. Instant. That's a 1.4.7. So we'll go fix that. Okay, it fixed it for us. Great. Thanks for the heads up. Now we'll go to the route page. We're going to Chi-Chi. Let me uninvert the colors. That was yesterday's problem. And then we're going to went from there. We're going to go to Delhi. Or Delhi. Dehli. From there, we're going to go to ONL. And then from there, we're going to go to Swan. Execute that. And then departing and arriving, coming into Minneapolis. We're going to plan for the ILS 12 right on the Swan arrival. The Torgy 3 arrival from Swan. And as far as the transition goes, I do not know, so we will check. Let's see if one of those is on my chart. Gwait, Krug, Patton. None of those are on my chart. Oh, there's Krug. So we'll do from Krug. Execute that. Let's go to legs page here. Let's look for anything that's looking bad here. We're looking for discontinuities. Nope. Okay. Fantastic. We don't trust the VNAV in this plane at all, so we're not even going to bother using it. You guys should know that by now. Okay, so we got the FMC set here. Let's grab our V speeds again. Boom, boom, boom. Those V speeds make a little bit more sense. Actually, takeoff. Perf. Nope. And one limit. Oh, we lost our flex. Flex 45. Derate the crap out of that. And then takeoff. And then those are set. Okay, so let's move on to the glare shield. The initial speed we're looking for, V2 plus 10. Or V2 plus 15 is going to be 157. The initial heading. We're going to intercept Iris on the 023, but the initial heading is 353. So 353. 353. And our altitude is climb via SID except maintain 10,000. Actually, we're not going very high, are we? There we go. Glare shield's now set. Let's move over and set the transponder. Transponder is going to be 0651, 0651. Good there. TARA on. And all set there. Okay, so my center panel is set. My glare shield is set. My FMC has been set. Let's get the APU turned on. 1, 2, 3. We'll turn on the position lights. We'll turn on the anti-collision lights. Do the overhead panel real quick. I guess we should have done the overhead panel first, but hey, we didn't. Yaw dampers on. Left side looks good. Fuel pumps are all on. Do we have gas in the center tank? That's a question. Center tank has no fuel, so we're not going to worry about drawing that. APU is coming online. That's great. 2. So we'll give the APU a second here to come on. As soon as that light comes on, we'll know the APU is ready to go. VNAV should work okay. Yeah, if you say so. No, they haven't made any VNAV improvements, so this has still got the same VNAV that it's always had. Unless I've misread or misheard something, but I'm not going to trust the VNAV anyway. APU's on, gen's on, so we want no smoking seatbelt. We'll turn the seatbelt sign on as well because we're going to push back in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the window heats. Bring the hydraulics off. APU bleed can come on. Right pack can stay off. Left pack can go to auto. Isolation valve stays on auto. Left and right bleeds are on. We're going up to 35,000 feet. 35,000 feet. And our landing altitude will be, who knows? We'll find that out. Just a moment. Landing altitude at Minneapolis-St. Paul is stalling, 842 feet.
Retard.
I couldn't agree more. McShiggity Pilot here for 2 months. Let's keep the blue side up. McShiggity Pilot, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. The Daedalus, welcome aboard, man. Good to see you. Hello from Boston. Aero Guitarist, welcome aboard. Foxtrot Oscar, welcome aboard. We did take care of the fuel. Yep. All set. Anybody else I missed? Billy O.W., welcome aboard. 9T Bone, good to see you. Happy Friday, guys. Leighton023, welcome aboard. You got better pushback? Nah. Nope, no better pushback.
Retard.
We don't need it.
Retard.
We have a ground controller, 121.85. 21. 85. And then there is no tower controller, so that means we're going to go straight to departure. Or straight to approach, I should say, which is 20.35. 2035. Great. And we are negative ATIS right now, so let's grab the weather ourselves before we do the pushback. Go. Get my sky vector action up. The Denver weather, currently, winds 32023, gusts to 30. Holy crap. 10-mile visibility. Thunderstorms in the vicinity, 7,000 feet. Scattered, broken 10,000. And the altimeter 3010. So we got some crappy weather out there. Which means the weather radar is definitely going to come on for this. Well, probably not right now because we'll cook the ground crew. It'll come on soon. Okay, so we're going to push this sucker back, push the nose back so that it goes that way. I can never remember which is which. Nose to the right. Disconnect the GPU, the air supply. Plane stayed on, that's good. So let's go ahead and disconnect park brake. We'll start pushing her back. There it goes. Okay, we'll turn off the left pack. PSI is over 35. Ready to start. Start engine number 2.
Retard.
Okay, we got in 2. Two spooling up nicely. That gauge right there. Cajun Cacti, thank you very much for 3 months. Steve PHL, thank you very much for 4 months. Appreciate it, guys. Cheers. 20%. Let's go engine number 2. Steve PHL says he needs a beer. Cajun Cacti says great stream. As always. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. You flatter me. I'm gonna turn the aircraft or the air conditioning volume down because I think it's a little loud in this plane. Every time I load this thing up, I gotta reset the damn sound. All right, it's just, you know what? I don't think the turn's gonna work because the hydraulics were off. Okay, that's one good engine. Let's make it 2. Engine number 1's coming up. Into rotation. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. For 20% on that into. There it is. Engine number 1's coming up. Am I on Pilot Edge? No, I'm on VATSIM tonight. Apache X2, good to see you. Tigers 1904, welcome aboard. Cirrus Max, good to see you, Max. Happy Friday, my friend. Microwave the ground cruise. Yeah. It's not so we don't know where Flight Sim Con 2018 is. Nope. There's been rumors, but they're kind of all unsubstantiated. Okay, and we should now have 2 good engines. Actually, we'll have 2 good engines momentarily. It's pretty close right there. Let's go to the overhead panel. 2. Pitot static can come on. 2, 3, 4 on the hydraulics. Left engine bleed, right engine bleed. APU bleed off. Pack left, pack right. And we will go to flight mode. Start pressurizing this sucker. Let's go flaps to 5. How many knots is 5? 1. 1, 2, 5. My immersion's kicking in, except for the fact that we're flying Cactus tonight. But you know they'll be all right. Okay, let's do flight. Actually, let's turn those sounds down. Holy crap, those are loud outside. So preferences, we'll bring the master volume down. And we'll bring the cockpit volume. All right, flight control check. Right rudder's good. Left rudder's good.
Reach-on.
Left aileron.
Reach-on. Reach-on.
Right aileron. Full back. Full forward. Fantastic. Henchinger, thank you for 7 months of support. This is dang 7 months already. Glad to finally have a night free to catch your stream. Cheers, my friend. How's the flight training going? How's the flight training going? Well, flight training is going great, man. We'll talk about that once we're up in the air, though. Trust me, it's been a week. Cheers. Thank you very much for your continued support. Big Red 7813, good to see you, man. And Henchinger, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. How can I multi-twitch? Go to multitwitch.com, and it'll tell you how to do it. All right. Let's get ground turned up here. Disengage the park brake. I suppose we shouldn't go that way, but I'm going to anyway. Oh, we're moving. Okay, let's get these sounds figured out. What do we need for lights? You, and you. You and you. We'll just skip on over to this side over here, so we don't have to wait for home slice up there.
And Denver, Climb American 12, ready to taxi 1 Alpha Sierra with hotel.
American 812, runway 34 right, runway 35 left, taxi via Alpha Sierra and
One more time for American 812.
American 812, runway 35 left, taxi via Alpha Sierra and
35 left, Mike, American 812.
FX 589, contact number departure 12035.
Okay, we are at Alpha November west side.
120.3.
Give a call once we get up here closer to Gulf. So we're still not moving area.
On ground 1485, holding short 34 right, ready to go over to departure.
1485.
This is payware, yes. Do I have the APU running? I do. We can turn that off.
0.35.
Denver ground, Southwest 4109, gate Charlie 42, ready to push on the Charlie Sierra.
All right.
Southwest 4109, Denver ground, for start construction comms with taxi.
Southwest 4109, right there, look over and wait, please.
Southwest 4109, you can expect on 34 right.
34 right, Southwest 4109.
Denver ground, Cactus 717 is on Alpha November west side with the weather.
Cactus 717, runway 34 right, taxi via Alpha November and Foxtrot.
Alpha November to Foxtrot for runway 34 right, Cactus 717. And that was the world's worst radio call right there. That's not how you do it. Okay, let's turn the weather radar on. Get that range out a little bit. Traffic. Whoops, pay attention. And there's the map. Don't mind me. Here's a Foxtrot. APU can stay on. It can stay on all the way to 10,000 if we really wanted to. Yes. Ooh, that's interesting. We tilt that up.
Southwest 122, contact.
I don't think the tilt actually does anything.
1205, Southwest 122.
Okay, so there is no tower controller on, which means that we're going to go talk to Denver approach here in a moment. As we get up into this pathway here. Get my views set. Gotta get them right where I want them, man. Yeah, exterminator. In the water we go. Try not to.
Delta 2944, request touch.
They're calling Denver ground.
All right, 2035.
Delta 20.
I'm maintained out of 3.
Is that a 777? I think that's 777. He got no. His landing gear seems to be up though. So does this guy. Well, that's awkward.
230 American 36.
Nice looking models now within VATS or within Squawk Box, but yeah, still some problems.
34 left, line up and wait, 1485.
FedEx 589 heavy, wind 330 at 19 across 28, runway 35 left, please take off.
Clear takeoff, thanks.
All American Toka Power, it's good to see you guys. Broad AG, welcome aboard at 757. Okay, we're heading to Minneapolis, man. We're flying the VATSIM FNO tonight. Smake Vikin, welcome aboard. That's a very Russian.
Denver departure, this is Southwest 122.
No Russian.
34 right to Alpha.
English only, please. I like how I have an American livery and it shows British Airways. Yeah.
Aircraft flying down to parts of second.
I don't know if they've, I think they've actually got it working. I don't, maybe you didn't like have the livery put in properly or the airline or something. Like I think that X Squawk Box is able to figure out what you're flying and give you the appropriate livery, but Star Wars planes, no Star Wars planes for me.
Southwest 1,
We're flying US Air tonight. Kicking it old school in the old school 737.
I'll just check my connection. Southwest 122.
What's my field of view setting at? I don't know. Graphics, field of view is 85. Did you have to book your flight on the website? No, I'm just going to fly in there. I don't think really anybody really booked the flight on the website. It's an FNO. Like, there's no need to book on an FNO. You book for things like across the pond and whatnot. But as far as the FNO goes, nah, it's not necessary.
Southwest 122, I'm coming up on 7, so I don't know if you can see me now. Southwest 122.
Oh, floating planes without gears. JPJ, good to see you, by the way. Yeah, exactly. It's the Millennium Falcon up here in front of me.
Southwest 122, say you're first in line, holding short, 3-4 right.
That's yeah, holding short, 3-4 right.
You know, he says he's not flying.
122, sorry, I see you there. You're at 35 left. You're at 35 left there. Runway 35 left, 1 from way.
My apologies. I was given 3-4 right in the first place, and I got changed to runway. Southwest 122, line up and wait.
There's the Southwest. It's doing liveries because that guy's a Southwest. That guy's an American. And that's the guy that just called up and was at the wrong runway. More importantly, what's in my glass? Oh, that's a good question. Robust Porter, good to see you, Brian. Brian, I'm drinking a, oh man, I'm drinking a stout. I'm drinking a stout from Trillium. I forget the name of the stout, but I'm drinking a stout from Trillium down in Canton, Massachusetts. It's pretty good. And I opened up the night with a lighter beer from Allagash. And it's raining. VATSIM indeed, yeah. It's going to be quite the gong show, I think, coming into...
departure, 12, we're coming up 135 left, ready for departure.
Dude, what's going on here?
American 812, departure.
Look at the wind's just shifted with this weather. It's going to be quite the gong show coming into Minneapolis, though, I think.
54, contact them, the center 132.7.
The wind's just shifted so that I have a rather strong left quartering tailwind. That doesn't leave me with the warm and fuzzies. That's X-Plane doing some X-Plane stuff. Let's reload that. See if it keeps the crappy winds in there. Interesting. That windsock is totally wrong from what it should be.
United 1485, wind 330, 19 gust 28, runway 34 right, clear to take off.
Well, we have a 12,000 foot runway, so we got plenty of room to work with here.
Right, 1485.
Even if we are high altitude. Nord Express EU, good to see you. Billy OW, welcome aboard. Ian, good to see you. Yeah, Secret Stairs, that's the one, dude. It's real good. It's real good. It's my last Secret Stairs. It's actually my last. It's my last Secret Stairs, and it's my last Trillium beer altogether.
Denver approach again, 4522.
American 22, hold short.
We definitely got thunderstorms and whatnot in the area.
Hold short. 4522.
Southwest 122 is lined up on 3435 left, ready for departure.
Southwest 122, roger.
Is the Southwest coming up behind us?
Copy that.
He can eat my mist here. I didn't pay for the scenery. I think it's okay. It's not the best, but it's all right. It's also the scenery's also like 2.5, 3 years old.
United 1485 radar contact altitude.
Like this stuff's been around for a while.
United 1485, 6.7 for 10.
United 1485, Roger, climb, maintain, flight level 230.
230.
So the approach controller's got tower and approach and departure. Just south of Denver, the weather's worse. Yeah, I'm looking at the radar right now. It's pretty.
For 230, how to do this smooth here for a moment at 10,000.
It's pretty gnarly looking here. That's of course the real world weather. That's not exactly what we've got in the sim, but it's pretty close. My departure plate up here. Got to stay below 10,000 at Iris, and Chicken above 14,000. Or no, not Chicken. Vela above 12,000. Got it. Yeah, well, it's VATSIM. My experience on VATSIM has been that we're going to end up waiting a long time to get out of here, because he's launching off 2 runways. So he's got one guy who went. He's got a Southwest who's going to go soon. I don't know why he's not launching them faster, but that's whatever.
122, wind 330 at 19, gust 28.
Yeah.
Runway 35 left, clear for takeoff.
Active Sky would draw it all in. That it would.
Clear for takeoff, Southwest 122.
Troll. He should give this guy a lineup and wait.
FedEx 589 heavy, contact Denver Center 135.6.
I would think he'd give the guy a lineup and wait.
135.6, FedEx 589 heavy.
If you lost your click spots, that means your avionics crashed. You, sir, got jarred. We got lots of fuel on board, though. I'm more worried about
American 4522,
crap.
runway 34.
Like I said, I'm more worried about the gong show once we get up here to Minneapolis. Like, there are a lot of planes in Minneapolis. And there's a lot of them coming in, too. Like, holy crap, they're coming in. We might be pretty much on our own, though, going to Osh Kosh this afternoon. Or this evening. Okay. That guy's got like a fan blowing on his mic or something.
Redwood 867, Dennis Pastor, was it?
Hello.
American 812, runway 35 left, 1 from wait.
Runway 35 left, American 812.
Where did he come from? Denver Cactus 717, short 34 right. I swear to you, he wasn't there.
717, Denver Pastor.
I gave birth to an American. That's a funny joke because U.S. Airways and American merged. Oh, dear. I'm back, sitting in my bed drinking coffee to stay awake for the stream. 1 p.m. in Sweden right now, or 1 a.m. in Sweden right now. Holy crap.
Runway 34 right, clear to take off.
Clear for takeoff, 34 right, American 45.
Dude, get some sleep, man. I'll post this thing on Sunday. Scotty beamed him down. That he did.
Southwest 122, radar contact altitude.
Oh, yeah. We merged. That's how we roll.
800 Southwest 122.
Chevy Rules, good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard.
Southwest 122, Roger, climb, maintain, flight level
My 73, my, you know what? My 737 has winglets.
Climb, maintain, 230.
Deal with it, Mark.
Southwest 122.
Zerg Forever, welcome aboard.
United 1485, contact Denver Center 135.
He sounds like he's talking through a sock because we're on VATSIM. and that's just kind of how it goes.
25.6, 1485.
I still don't know where that American came from, though.
Denver approach, Bravo Hotel Alpha 2 Alpha.
Boy, I can't wait to get up in the air.
Alpha Zulu Alpha Denver approach.
I can't wait to deal with this
Bravo Hotel Alpha
left
2 Alpha,
quartering
we'd like to
tailwind
request
that's not supposed to be there.
Alpha Centennial.
Just
Papa
chilling.
Hotel Alpha Zulu Alpha current on the first runway.
Chilling.
How to do all.
We'll get out of here soon. 1 a.m. in Portugal, but I'm on summer vacation. There we go. Now we're talking. Have to settle this dispute.
6,000.
Mondays sound good. I think I can still do Monday.
American 45.2.
Chevy, were we on for Monday?
Flight level 230.
I know you're on my calendar, but I totally...
I'm maintaining flight level 230, American 4522.
Yeah, I don't have anything going. We're still good. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep. Yeah, we're still good. We'll settle the dispute over a beer. How do you open the IXEG doors? On ground services, there's a button called Open Cargo Doors. The actual, the fuselage doors don't open, just the cargo doors. J Snap, welcome aboard, man. Good to see you, Justin. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well.
Jet Southwest 40, question 2458.
WTF 1310, good to see you. VATSIM audio is so bad, it should be banned from internet use. I don't know about that. That's awfully harsh. It's pretty bad, though. That's why we don't do this very often. But I promised the Minneapolis guys I'd fly out there at some point, so that's what we're doing. Yeah, root beer for you, that's right. I'll let it pass. I'll let it slide.
American 4522, verify you're on the yoke departure.
Why, oh why, are we launching so slow?
American 4522, verify you're on the yoke 5 departure.
Yokes 5, affirmative. Ready the cat, good to see you.
4522.
Quantity, welcome aboard. Happy Friday, guys. Tote, Dimac, welcome aboard. This is my VATSIM experience. Every time I find myself flying, I find myself just sitting on the ground waiting longer than I'm actually in the air. Remember that time we waited almost an hour at Reagan? And then the sim crashed? That was fun. That's right, Stir. I had that on a t-shirt, too. I made a t-shirt earlier this year with that. And, yeah, the Teespring deal with Twitch is now gone. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. But we'll get another t-shirt out at some point. Iowa Flyer, happy Wednesday, or happy Friday. Good to see you. Not sure where the Wednesday came from. If I shut the engine down, it's going to take some time to start it back up. If I wasn't first in line... If I wasn't first in line, I might consider turning one of them off, but it doesn't really matter. The controller's not going to be able to see that our engine's off anyway. Now you know my nightmare dealing with Newark's ground delay program and ground stops. Yeah, dude, no way. It's all right. We'll give him a second here. Worst FNO I participated in was Seattle. They had everyone in hold so long people started declaring fuel emergencies. Oi.
Over.com, stack, climb, maintain, flight level 230.
That sucks.
Flight level 230, my next one.
Who's next on runway 34 right? Is that Cactus 717 or Delta 71 from 99?
Cactus 717. Alaska Pilot Dream, welcome aboard. Course PP, good to see you.
Runway 34 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 34 right, Cactus 717.
Denver's March over 3551 at holding point Mike 2 for turn, ready to go.
Okay, lights,
Orbit 35,
Camera.
21, roger, standby.
action. Where's the auto brake? All right.
Departure Southwest 4109. That Delta 7199 kind of spawned over there short of 3-4 right. Do you want me to take Foxtrot 2? We could accept that.
Aircraft calling cycle set.
All right.
Southwest 4109. We were in sequence for 3-4 right. That Delta just kind of spawned there holding short of the runway. I didn't know if you wanted us to take Foxtrot 2 instead.
Delta 7199 should be. You see
Now
that,
they figured out that somebody spawned in right there
Delta
short of the runway.
7199, Denver, departure T, copy.
I'm glad I wasn't being crazy.
And the Denver approach Southwest 2458. We can take
Hey, lightning.
the intersection as well.
Whoa, more lightning. That one just struck on the taxiway. Did you see that?
He's Delta 7199 not responding.
No, he's not responding. Does that actually do anything? I don't think it does.
He's been having
Denver approach, Delta 34 right.
Also, 339, then departure, also, 34 right.
Ready for the takeoff.
Delta 7199.
Aye, this is payware scenery at the org, yeah.
7199.
Not free.
34 right, Russia. 7199.
I'm okay with PE having nice audio, especially as a training product. Check spec to add a little bit of noise would be neat. Yeah, it'd be kind of neat.
Delta 2944, runway 5 left, line up and wait.
Don't get struck by lightning and return to the gate like Sendero. Yeah, no kidding. What a crazy story that was. Drinking a 13-year-old Rochefort 8 ale to celebrate our 4 months. Wish it got better with age. That sounds pretty good, Steve. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably get another beer once we're up in cruise. Just from sitting. We'll get out here eventually, though.
Active 717, wind 33, sorry, at 17, gust 23, runway 34 right, clear to pick off.
Clear for takeoff, runway 34 right, Cactus 717. All right, let's go. On the auto throttle. Let's go LNAV. Oh, no. LNAV not going to work. That's cool. Okay, engine's up, stable. Toga. We should get a flight director, too. Then we can do... Nope. Okay, power set. Nope. Now power set. Holy crap. I feel that tailwind. That didn't take long. $80 knots. V1, VR. Positive rate.
7199,
Gear.
runway 34 right, line up and wait.
Final magnitude for right, Delta 199.
Why isn't my flight director working? There we go. Okay, let's get the autopilot on. That way I can focus on other stuff. Bring the flaps in. I don't know if this actually make any difference, but I'm gonna set them anyway.
Active 717, radar contact, altitude.
Crossing 6,400 Delta 717. Or Cactus 717.
Active 717, roger, climb, maintain, flight level 230.
Flight level 230, Cactus 717.
American 812, contact Denver.
Okay, 230, no restriction anymore, so we'll go to level change mode,
Over
250.
American 812, thanks, Steve.
Keep a nice easy climb going here. Lightning. Wow. That weather went to crap pretty quick. Okay, there comes the big climb. I'm guessing that means all the weather's in front of us. Up we go. So.
Retard, retard, retard.
Dang driver. Dang driver, good to see you. All right, we're using stock weather. Stock weather, stock clouds. Weatherman Thay, here for 7 months. You had enough runway this time? I did. 12,000 feet, more than enough runway. Congrats on the anniversary on Monday. Thank you very much, man. Yes, my anniversary was this past Monday. It was a good one. We had fun. Wife and I went out to dinner at the North End in Boston. It was a good time. Alright, zoom that sucker out. Just like that, we're out of the soup.
Delta 2199, landing on 34 right. That was for me.
Delta 2199 negative. Just hold.
We'll keep the lights in until we get to 18,000. We'll go ahead and accelerate though. 288 knots on the climb. Actually, we can go VNAV now for the climb. VNAV on the climb, but definitely not on the descent. Apparently the weather radar still think there's stuff in front of us. That traffic, no, that's water.
Retard, retard.
Big Red
retard.
7813 here for 3 months. Just wanted to say thank you for creating a great place to hang out on Friday night. Cheers, my friend. Thank you very much for your continued support, sir. Appreciate it. A gear handle. There you go. Whoops. Yeah, this plane's got windshield wipers. I just chose not to use them. Take our ignition off continuous. Now that we're clear of the rain and all the crap. Up we continue to go. Ah, auto brakes, who cares? We'll take out the auto brakes later. Enjoy the view for now. We don't have a lot of photo reel tonight, so we gotta enjoy what little bit we have on the way out of here. Paid $70 for weather engine doesn't work. Yeah, I'm a little upset about that, but one of these days they might figure it out. Cal Rock, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. Welcome aboard. Captain Bano, welcome aboard. F Kiwi, welcome aboard. As soon as we get the frequency change over to center, we'll talk about flight training and kind of last week and whatnot. Stuff like the air conditioning's a little bit loud. There we go. That's better. I'll donate $1 if you do a barrel roll. You can't even donate $1. 135.6, Cactus 717. We'll see it. All right, 35. 6.
F360 Denver, roger.
Denver Center, Cactus 717, 17,200, flight level 230.
Cactus 717 Denver Center, climbing making flight level 350.
Flight level 350, Cactus 717. All right, coming up on 2902. We're coming up on 18,000, I should say. We'll go 2902. So yeah, anyway.
Delta 705 for your descent. Turn.
So my anniversary, let's go look at the other window. Get what photo reel we can. So my anniversary was on Monday. That's the significance of 717 if you guys haven't figured it out. My wife and I had a good time. We went out to dinner at the North End down in Boston. The restaurant we went to was kind of like, wasn't the best. It was all right.
Denver Center,
but we went to an Italian place. Had appetizers and food and drinks and everything else. And then did we get dessert? No, we had dessert at the restaurant. So it was a good time. The week itself was fairly uneventful. Not a lot really going on. Last night I went on my first night flight. So I did my night cross-country flight. We went. It was actually a fairly interesting flight to do. Map it out here. Sky vector. So we took off out of Lawrence, and when we took off, whoops, no, not that. Flight plan, go away. So we went Lawrence, and we went over Bedford, we went over Norwood, and then we went down to Plymouth, KPYM. Oops, nope, KPYM. So what that actually did is that skirted us around the Boston class Bravo. So here's Boston, here's downtown Boston, and our flight plan took us sort of north of the city and around. We skirted within I really skirted within about 2 miles or so of the Bravo here, and it was a beautiful flight. I mean, it was a little hazy, a little foggy last night, so it was super muggy. Like, we were only at 2,800 feet, so it actually was like really freaking stuffy in the cockpit. Pardon my French.
134.25.
I don't think that was for me yet. That's probably going to be where we're going, though.
American 521, contact Minneapolis.
We'll be here for
4.25.
We'll be here for a little bit. So yeah, we cut around the city like this. It was super foggy, super hazy. It was very pretty though. Like it was super pretty. There was a thunderstorm too that was hanging out like right off the coast here, and it was sort of building and forming and just chilling off the coast. And a couple times we saw these just massive forked bolts of lightning coming down, and they called it an area of extreme precipitation at one point. The airliners were all getting vectors around it. They were all reporting moderate turbulence as they were coming down. Like it was pretty bonkers. So we flew around here, and then we flew down to this little airport called Plymouth. Plymouth ended up being a notable airport because the frequency to activate the lighting is not the Unicom frequency, but it's like 122.9er. Like it's not the Unicom, but it's a different frequency, and that's why apparently my instructor chose to go down here for the night flight. And of course I didn't pick it up. I read the AFD, I just missed that particular part of it because I didn't even know to look for it. So we did our stop and go there. There was a Pilatus that came in right before me. We sort of negotiated with him to figure out, to basically figure out how to get down, and who was going to go down first. And then we turned around and we went back. And by the time we got back to Lawrence was now an untowered airport. I found it was very, very difficult to spot Lawrence because there's this lake right here. And I saw this lake, and I thought this lake was the airport for some reason. So I'm like, I'm looking for the airport, and I'm like, there's no lights on at this airport right now. The lights are completely off. And my instructor is like, no, you're full of crap. And eventually I realized that I actually was full of crap. Because, yeah, the lake was not the airport. The airport was the airport. I looked up and finally saw the airport, and I was like, okay, that's cool, I got it. But there's this huge hill that exists right here on the base turn. So I took a nice wide downwind, nice wide base, nice long final coming in. I came in with 4 whites because I was not there's no concern about runway distance or anything like that. And it was a nice flight.
Hard to hear it sometimes, but I am receiving that.
I think my wife might have fallen asleep. She came with us. I think she might have fallen asleep a couple times in the back there. But I enjoyed it. I will say I enjoy day flights better. I enjoy being up in the air during the day a lot better than at night. The night stuff was cool, but ultimately not what I'm really looking for in my flying. Here, if you ever want to see the difference between photoreal and not photoreal, there's your line. So your photoreal, and then back to stock X-plane, which in some cases doesn't look like, when you get to the farmland area, it doesn't look all that much dissimilar. It's kind of like the areas with features and whatnot is where you sort of miss out on the photoreal. But yeah, my preference is definitely my preference is definitely to fly during the day. In Australia, we must do 3 hours, instrument under the hood, no night flying, night VFR is a separate endorsement. Yeah, Benny, that's, and I think it's that way in Europe as well. So we do 3 hours under the hood, and I've already done my 3 hours of hood work. You do 3 hours under the hood, but we also do 3 hours of night flying. And one of our flights has to be a 100-mile cross country, or a 50-mile, like basically a 100-mile flight, which becomes, you know, which is basically like go do a cross country flight and come back. So that's what we did, and it was nice. It was a good time. It was fun. Like the training is definitely moving along, and that's really nice. What's the pop-up menu? That's IXEG's. That's the IXEG main menu. Unfortunately, like my second monitor is over here on the right, on the left side. So when I go to move stuff off, or when I go to like click over here, that's why that menu pops up. Just do all the flyover stuff in 50. Yeah, I have all of Western U.S. in ZL-15. I don't fly in the Midwest, and I don't fly in the Central Plains and whatnot enough to care about painting it in photoreal. Like I never come out here, so I'm probably not gonna go paint this entire area in photoreal scenery just for that reason. Oops. Oh, I guess that's gonna be the camera location. Might have asked previously if you wine glasses in. Apologize if you know Civil Air Patrol is still at Lawrence Airport. I think the cap is down at Beverly. I have not seen or heard of any cap planes up in Lawrence. There's a state police helicopter up there, but I haven't seen anything for the cap. That doesn't mean they aren't up there. It just means I don't think they are. I think they're in Beverly. Arctic 746, good to see you. You're up 5 hours under the hood. Night is its own, of course. Huh. How odd is recovering from an unusual attitude under the hood? Honestly, I had no issues with it. My instructor got mad at got mad at me. He was perturbed because I couldn't put the plane into an unusual attitude no matter how hard I tried. So he eventually took the controls, put it into an attitude, and then I looked up, I opened my eyes, and whatever, like I was able to recover. Like for better or worse, that didn't bother me at all. Believe me, I have my struggles elsewhere. Lucy and Jay, good to see you. The J Master, welcome aboard. Laser Beam 94, welcome aboard. Your last flight in the A320, you said the transition altitude in America is 18,000. In Europe, it's multiple different airports in Ireland, 6,000 and 5,000. Yeah, so elsewhere I think elsewhere in the world, the transition altitude is different. But in the United States and Canada, it's always 18,000 feet.
0705, we're established.
But yeah, I mean, in Europe, I think it varies by the airport.
It's pretty strong turbulence through probably about 7,500 down to about 7,000.
705, Roger, only
500 feet variation in turbulence. I think you would classify that as severe turbulence. CBS, after Minneapolis, we're going to head to Oshkosh. We have a long-ish flight here, or a longer flight, I should say, for the first one, and the second one will be a nice short hop to Oshkosh, where they tell me the weather is starting to clear up, but there's a lot of storms, a lot of rotation still kind of in the area, like south of Oshkosh and whatnot. All right, Star, good to see you, buddy. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Have I gone over Boston before? I've tried to go over Dallas-Fort Worth. They wouldn't let me. I have not gone over Boston proper. I've done 2 city tours over downtown Boston, so we've been able to fly around the city. But to actually fly over the airport, that's pretty much impossible. Like they're almost never going to let you do that, just because of where Boston is located. I was at Mass General on Tuesday and Wednesday visiting my uncle. Stayed at Holiday Express in Lawrence. Nice. You probably weren't too far from me on. Well, not. I mean, I don't live up in Lawrence. I just fly to Lawrence. Probably weren't too far from the airport. I live a half an hour from Lawrence. Shamrock, good to see you. Happy Friday. Try to pronounce Cannot. Cannot. That's what I'm going to go with. XP Aviator, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Good to see you. In Brazil, 6,000, 5,000, or 4,000. Depends on wherever you are. I see. Yeah, I don't understand the reason for varying the transition altitude. Like, I would think that you would want to be on... Like, I would think you'd want to be off of standard. Any chance you can have a chance at getting close to the ground there, but I don't know. I guess it's different over there. Cessna Rocks, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Speaking of Boston, what is the strange tower right before the runway there, or right behind the runway? Which runway, Kyokin? Which runway?
Retard.
Cessna Rocks here for 6 months. Thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Appreciate it, buddy. My beer is almost empty. Probably for the better. Take a little break. Yeah, so as far as the tower goes, I don't know. I need to know like which way you're coming in from.
Delta 7199 Denver Center, climate maintain.
Let's see here, we do bird's eye view.
Because
Because if you're coming in from, like you don't come in over the city is the thing.
34.25.
PJ Richwine, good to see you, Phil. Buy your own plane yet? Nah, man. I joined a flying club though. I joined a flying club, which is almost the same thing as buying my own airplane. I have access to a. Oh, hey, we're at 35,000. I'm just going to turn the seatbelt signs off. Boom.
Delta 13.
So,
71 Denver. I'm trying to find you, but
buying into this flying club is pretty damn close to owning my own airplane. I spent $600. I have a key, I have insurance, and I can fly the plane whenever I want as long as I'm on the schedule. And the schedule is generally quite open. Not a lot of people in my club flying. So it's not a great plane. It's nothing flashy. It's nothing special, but it gets up in the air.
yeah,
Try to pronounce this Swedish word. Sturströmming.
FedEx 589.
It's the best I got for you, man. RC Flyer, good to see you. A few weeks ago, I stayed at a hotel for an air show, KSWF, and the Geico Sky Tippers were at the same hotel. That's cool. It's pronounced Con-Ucht.
Was that for Delta 260?
Okay. I'm no good at pronouncing things, man. Like, I may speak English, but I don't speak English very well. XP Aviator, thank you for 5 months, man. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it, buddy. No messages for any of these people.
Virgin 44 flight level.
Hawk Flying Club, that's the one, Broadwell.
Virgin 44 Denver Center. Hello.
That is the one. $600 to buy in, $50 a month, and $108 an hour. The plane is nothing special, but it gets the job done. Perfectly fine for VFR.
Virgin 44.
It's like a timeshare? Yeah, it's kind of like a timeshare. Yeah. So I think we have like 10 or 12 members. Everybody's bought in. Everybody pays a monthly fee. We all try to fly the plane when we can. And yeah, you sort of pool resources together to mitigate the cost of things like maintenance. You know, your annual maintenance is expensive. Your incidental maintenance is expensive. And yeah, it's just kind of a group of guys trying to fly as cheap as we can.
American 812.
Dogs 3447. Good to see you, buddy. I'm doing very well. Thank you. I'm speaking English. Who knew? Yeah, no kidding. 22 right. Okay. So 22 right is the 22 left would be the runway. 22 left is the normal runway.
American 812. What fix are you direct to currently?
The tower on 22 left. I don't know what you'd be talking about there. I mean, there's a hill here, and there's like a Jesus statue out here somewhere. These little towers, if you're talking about there's some towers that are kind of on final-ish, that are like some condos and whatnot. That could be it, but yeah, I don't know what you'd be talking about, Kyokin.
American 812, reduce to Mach 75.
I saw the 75 American 812.
At 1485, contact Minneapolis Center 134.
Okay, so they're getting speed restrictions up there. What are we doing? They're getting 7.5.
Over to
I'm
Minneapolis, yep.
only doing 7.2 right now, so I'm not in any it's not much of a chance that I'm going to be in conflict with these guys.
Traffic.
What? I think we got a phantom on the TCAS. That is not a real person.
Climb.
Is the 108 wet? Yes, it is. Yeah, the 108 is wet, but it's a slant uniform plane, so there's no GPS. I believe it's IFR certified, but you're going to be, you know, if you're flying IFR and I think you're going to be doing some work. But yeah, 108 wet is pretty damn cheap out here for like incredibly cheap for an airplane, especially like a 180 and it's a Cherokee 180 and like that's got some pretty good carrying capacity.
I'm gonna have routing for you. Let me know when you're ready to
Clear
copy.
of conflict.
108 bucks an hour. You have a plane like even if it's on the ground at some foreign airport. No. So when you're paying for hours, you're paying for flight hours. You're paying $108 an hour anytime the prop is spinning. So when the engine's running, you pay money.
1013 Denver Center.
If you take it longer, like there's flight schools and whatnot have rules around. If you take the plane for a couple of days, here's the minimum amount that you're going to pay. Like if you're taking it for 24 hours, we expect you to fly it for 4 hours or 6 hours. The flying club has that stuff in writing, but they don't enforce it right now because the plane, quite frankly, is not flying all that much.
Work out. Thanks for the help. Maintain Mach 7.5 for now, and you're likely going to be doing.
Happy with the IXEG after the update. I mean, it works.
Alright,
I don't really have any opinions on it. Like I was happy with it before the update. So, Tim PE, good to see you, Tim. Happy Friday, my friend.
Southwest 4109 reset transponder, squawk 1.
Ever any liveries for flights? Give me a shout. I can do that.
1474 Southwest 41.
$82 an hour for a 152 in Daytona. Well, I won't fit in a 152. Not a chance.
Denver, good evening.
The cheapest plane I could, so aside from the flying club plane, the cheapest plane that I could rent would be a Cherokee 140 for $125 an hour. After that, there's a 172 I can get for $135, and the prices go up from there.
Denver Center, Delta 1013.
Some X and Viro clouds don't show in reflections of the planes. Yeah, it's because that the clouds don't show up in reflections because they're rendered, because of how they're being rendered. How many planes does the club have? We have one plane.
X589.
November 9323 Juliet.
4.25.
Glad they changed the plane. The oldest junk. Not sure what that means. 3425 is probably going to be us next, eventually. Did I see the better pushback plugin? I've heard people talking about it, but I haven't had a chance to look at it myself yet. Flying clubs are good deals. My local club is an IFR 172 for 95 wet. That'd be a fantastic deal. You will not find that in New England, though. Not a chance. Gonna consider joining a club. Yeah, if you want to fly, man, like if you're gonna fly regularly, try to finding a club is your best bet. It's the most affordable way to get access to a plane. You have a lot of risk mitigation in that it's cheaper. Like everything is sort of mitigated over all of the members. So if there's something major that comes up and we don't have the funds in the bank account to cover it, then it's a lot easier for 12 guys to make cover a $2,000 repair than it is for one person to cover that repair. Sox fan? I'm not a sports fan.
American 812,
Ancient City Gamecock, good to see you. Yeah, I'm a Boston transplant anyway. Like I'm not originally from the area. I grew up in the Midwest.
Heading 020 American 812.
Yeah, if you want to build hours, man, like the club is a good bet. Like our club plane is, I'm gonna fly the crap out of that thing.
1438, squawk 1.
It's gonna serve my purpose very well. A nice, capable VFR machine. I can take my wife, myself, and a little bit of luggage and go away for a weekend, and not have to worry about it. Tim, I pay $50 a month, so it was a $600 buy-in, and I pay $50 a month. Learning how to fly Icarus C42. It's a microlight, but still a beauty. Look it up. Look it up. Okay. Icarus C42. Icarus. C-42. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've seen planes like those. I don't think I've seen those personally. My issue is I'm 6'5", I weigh 250 pounds. Like, this is not gonna hold me. The Cessna 152 is not gonna work for me. So I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit limited in terms of what I can actually fit in. So it's empty weight of 583. Max takeoff weight's about 10. So it's got about a 500 useful load. 500 useful load.
12, turn right now.
Or no, let's say 450 useful load. I don't see what the size of the tanks are, but let's say the tanks are 20 gallons. That leaves 330 pounds between the passenger and the pilot, which means that I'd have to have like an 80-pound flight instructor. My dream 6-pack of beer. Oh, I don't really care, man. Whatever tastes good. Get to Pants, welcome aboard. Good to see Ashley. Blackout Foxtrot Delta, welcome, or Blackout Delta Foxtrot, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. What about maintenance, repair, spare parts, additional payment? I mean, there's money in the bank, so that there's a reserve that gets built up in the bank for the club that's intended to cover things like maintenance, repair, spare parts, and all that. You know, I think if something came up where we exceeded the amount of money we had in the bank, either the club takes a loan or the members pay in a little bit more money and try to cover the cost there. I haven't encountered that yet, and I'm not. Our engine's like 3 years old. The engine's practically brand new, so like that's not going to go anytime soon. So yeah, the Judd, welcome aboard. Yep, your monthly contributions to the $50 a month has money that goes in for repairs. So does the hourly rate. So, you know, the hourly rate, you figure you're burning 10 gallons an hour.
38, direct Swan.
Burning 10 gallons an hour. He got a direct Swan. Maybe I'll get direct Swan too.
Direct Swan.
So you get 10 gallons an hour is what we burn. Let's say gas is $5 an hour or $5 a gallon. I don't actually know what it is. Let's say it's $5 a gallon. So that means $50 an hour goes towards fuel, which leaves the $58 an hour to go towards whatever. Like that goes towards all the maintenance, that goes towards the engine reserve and all that good stuff.
Clear direct to the job to 78.
There's 50 liters. 50 liters in gallons. 13 gallons. Okay, so that leaves about 300. Let's say that leaves about 400 pounds.
So 1438.
So that's a little better. I could get a 150-pound flight instructor in there with me and no gear. But yeah, like I'm not gonna fit in one of those things, unfortunately. It's a good thought, though. It's a cool looking plane. I'd love to fly one of those solo, truly. Big Red Noof, happy Friday indeed. Serious Gamer, welcome aboard. Is IXEG legit X-Plane 11 compatible? Yep, version 1.2 came out last week and offers full X-Plane 11 compatibility. Oh man. Get D Pants just sent me a picture. And it's quite pretty.
Direct Swan, American 12.
It's very pretty. I can't. She said it's a picture of where she's staying tonight.
FedEx 16 with request. FedEx.
Boy, that's a long line of planes. We kind of missed the big cluster. We're a little bit ahead of the curve here, so we should be okay. I guess it depends on all this other traffic that's coming in too.
Are you able to fly level 370?
It's gonna be a gong show.
We are unable 370 FedEx 16.
Sounds like the syndicate. We have syndicates here in Australia where you buy in, pay an hourly rate. Yep, pretty common. Same idea, it sounds like. Do you know what the club pays for hangar rental? I don't know off the top of my head. I can go look it up if I wanted to.
13.
We don't have a hangar. Our plane sits out, which is unfortunate. Like it'd be nice to have a hangar, but it's New England and real estate's expensive.
FedEx 16. Yep.
Those small planes, you need a jockey as a CFI. Yeah, no kidding. Oh yeah, Ashley. the Cirrus is a different story. The Cirrus has a ton of space in it. Like the Cirrus, I had more space sitting in the back of the Cirrus than I do on a typical airliner flight. Like we've gotten 3 guys relatively my size and 1 guy that's like bigger than average in the Cirrus before with no issues. Like that's a pretty cozy flight. Have I ever flown a glider? I have not. Actually, I forgot to talk about that. I went flying with Max on Saturday. We took one of my friends up who's never been out flying in a general aviation plane, and he had a hoot. He's a guy who's he's a stone-faced man of few emotions, and he was all smiles when we got off the plane. It was very, very fun. Packing for the trip yet? Not yet. My wife is, though. I'll probably start packing here in another week or so. If I won the lottery, I'd fly the Cirrus SR-22T. Yeah, I probably would do a Cirrus as well if I won the lottery. Having spent a good number of hours in one of those airplanes, they are quite nice. The Buick of the sky, indeed, Tim. Hillsborough Club has 2 hangars and 3 planes, so we have to cycle them. Aha. He is a man of flannel. Ridiculous. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday.
Delta 1438, you still on frequency? American 812, contact with Capital Center 134.25.
Our frequency change is going to come up soon. So again, 3225. We'll punch that in. That'll almost certainly be next for us.
American 812, contact Minneapolis Center 134.25.
3425.
13425 American 812.
All right. Sorry if you already answered. What plane does the club own? It's a 1966 Piper Cherokee 180. Hawk Flying Club. So, like I said, it's not much of a looker.
260, contact Minneapolis Center 133.
You know, it's definitely an old plane. It's got the old Hershey bar wings, which look awesome when you're flying in, by the way. The Hershey bar wing looks so cool.
We're 133.4.
Like I think the Cirrus looks rather comical. This actually looks like an airplane and feels like an airplane in my opinion. But yeah, like it's pretty no frills. Like as far as the cockpit goes, you've got 2 nav radios and an ADF. A compass that is sketchy. Instrument panel that is non-standard as far as the layout goes. And your 2 nav radios. But it all works pretty well. Like the thing runs fantastic. So yeah. But the whole thing is very no frills. It's definitely straight out of the 60s. I'm not sure that it's ever been reupholstered. But it's a plane, man. It runs. It's fun to fly. Like that 180 is a hoot. I think that 180 is basically the perfect one of the perfect airframes.
Yeah.
Used to be a trend in sailing where you could buy condo slips, so instead of renting annually, you'd own or slip and just pay a smaller association fee. Interesting. There are airports that there are like live-in. There are airports that are on basically private property. Houses that are attached to airports. That's what I'm looking for. The old aircraft had real character. They do, for sure. I need to build some hours so I can get back in the 60 Cessna 182C. Oh, that sounds good, man. Virus City, good to see you, buddy. I'm doing fairly well. I'm doing very well, actually. Welcome aboard. No shag cart, but that'd be pretty sweet. Hi, Dev Joe. This is the first flight heading to Minneapolis. We've got 49 minutes to go till we get to Minneapolis. And after that, we're going to head to Oshkosh. Powerball, I'll take an E1000. Air Park is the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Tim. E1000 would be nice, yeah.
FedEx 16, exactly, sir. FedEx 16, welcome back.
You recommend a CFI near New York City? I cannot. It depends on where near New York City. If you're looking for like white planes, Max can probably tell you who to go talk to. In fact, if you're looking for white planes, I would send Cirrus Max a message and see if he's got a recommendation for you. Dom's 2146, good to see you. I trained a Piper Cherokee 180. It's a nice plane, man. I really dig it.
Roger.
I think the Hershey bar wings are cool. Like they add a lot of character.
Southwest 4109, what's your Mach?
On my way with me to Minneapolis. Awesome.
Yeah, big 370.
Southwest 4109. It doesn't, just because it's a long line. If you could reduce Mach 7.4.
400 back all the way to 7.4. We're on there.
Everybody's getting restrictions. The Cherokee does not want to stall. Yeah, it's kind of a bizarre feeling. But I'll tell you, man, with that wing in that airplane, like you pull the flaps out to 40, like you pull that Johnson bar all the way back, which is a ridiculous thing to say, by the way. But you pull that Johnson bar all the way back, and that thing sinks like a stone. It's kind of awesome. What are these? Oh, meters to feet. Oh, landing speed too. No kidding. That's a great plane to fly. I much prefer. I've talked to a few people about this, but I've done about half my training in a Cessna and half my training in a Piper, and I vastly prefer the low wing aircraft. Like the high wing aircraft are definitely more comfortable, and they're different in a lot of ways. That's for sure. But like when I'm
Cactus 717, contact Minneapolis Center 134.25.
3425, Cactus 717. We'll see you. Have a good night.
Southwest 4109.
Oh boy, here we go. So yeah, the low wing aircraft, I think they're just way more fun to fly. My personal opinion. Minneapolis Center, Cactus 717, flight level 350.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis Center.
My Discord is not private. No, you can join. Discord.gg/catstrator. Link is up there. Yeah, I like the red, white, and blue plane. It's pretty cool looking. It's definitely faded. I don't know when the plane. I think the plane was painted in like the 80s or something. The seats are pretty cozy. Yep, definitely. You just kind of sink right in. You're like, yeah, this is gonna be a good time. Fly the Warrior 2, it's nearly impossible to stall. Yeah. And they land so smooth, too. Like, they're so easy to land those planes. Feels like you're falling out of the sky with the flaps extended all the way. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I like doing the steep approach. Like, I like doing the kind of steep arrivals and approaches and whatnot. Like, they feel, I don't know, they feel more fun. More interesting, if you will. Joseph L. Jones, good to see you. Army EOD Tech, welcome aboard. We're heading up to Minneapolis. I'm in Manhattan, so I'm thinking CDW. I see. Gosh, I think Anthony from Pilot Edge lives in that area. I don't know if he flies out of CDW or not, but
for planning purposes, we're planning it now, but don't do it. You can plan Redwood Falls, Cedar 5 arrival. That's Romeo Whiskey Foxtrot, Cedar 5 arrival.
Cedar 5 with Romeo.
Interesting. They're changing people's arrivals. That's going to be fun. It's easier to land high wings, though. Less ground effect. I don't know. I like the ground effect.
1206 Minneapolis, Center. 1623 to Cinephile, discretion maintains level 2.
It's smoother. Like, I found that my landings were smoother in the low wing.
At my discretion down at 240.
All airports suck to get to from Manhattan. Yeah. I feel like I'm arranged in the 172. Like a Texas Ranger. Gonna get your gun out. No, I know what you're talking about. Like Forest Ranger type stuff. If Flight SimCon is at Bradley, I probably will. Yes, if Flight SimCon is at Bradley, I'll almost certainly fly down there. I'm not gonna drag my gear to another Flight SimCon. That was fun, but I don't want to do that again. There was a lot of work. But yeah, if Flight SimCon's at Bradley, I'll definitely fly in. Like I'll fly in probably Friday, and then leave on Sunday.
Nope, you're good. Thank you.
Although to be perfectly honest, like I don't really save any time by flying to Bradley. It would take me almost as long to fly there as it would to just drive. But whatever, it'd be cooler. CBS just flew into Minneapolis. My arrival got changed twice. Great. Simus23321, welcome aboard.
30 degrees left.
Happy Friday.
30 degrees left, text 589.
Things are going to get real interesting here, I think.
Can I also the possibility of what my runway would be for landing place at pilots? Some preference.
High wing versus low wing plane is true with RC planes. The high wing planes are trainers, the low wings are everything else from warbirds, aerobatics, and jets. Yeah, and I've read, I like, you see on the forums and whatnot, like people argue both ways. I'll tell you that my personal preference has been low wing. That being said, I'm taking a friend of mine up in a couple weeks on a high wing plane. I'm gonna, when I go back to Indianapolis for the Drum Corps finals, I'm going to rent a plane out of Indianapolis Executive. Renting a plane and an instructor, and I'm going to take him to Lafayette. So we're going to do a touch and go up, or probably stop and go up in Lafayette, and then I want to do a full stop and go at Indianapolis International as well. But my friend has never been flying in a small plane before, so this will be an experience for him. And I know he's terrified of it, but I hope he enjoys it. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, we're going to take a Cessna for that.
Okay, 240, United 485.
Kester would be one of the very cool guys. Yeah, we'll go with that. Low wings fly better, no self-correction. Yeah, the low wing is definitely is a lot easier to fly. Like I find myself using a lot less rudder in the Piper than I do in the Cessna. That's for sure. Pearly G, welcome aboard. Opus 67 plays, welcome aboard. Happy Friday, guys. Rexy the Kin, happy Friday.
132.35.
How was the airport restaurant? Oh my god, dude, it was awesome. Yeah, so we went out in Glen Falls. We stopped at the Aviator restaurant, I think it's called, and the food was great. Like the food was fantastic. The burger was one of my buddies and I had a burger. I forget what Max had, and the view was great. Just looking out over the tarmac. A couple of like there's a Pilatus that was out there. There was like a Cessna 402 that was out there, and it was fantastic. We had a really good time on that flight. Don't forget your flare. Most common mistake, low wing versus Cessna is not to flare. Yeah, my problem initially was flaring too damn much. I basically like flew myself out of ground effect more than a couple of times.
1438, same on.
I'm blowing up a ZMP, that's right. We're going to kill it.
Decimal 830.
Insert for me. Thank you very much for 7 months, sir. Long time no see, he says. I appreciate it, man. Cheers.
Thank you, American 812, same on.
Sourest Apple, welcome aboard, man. Happy Friday. Good to see you.
American
Crash and Bird, welcome aboard.
Made
a stop on Eagle Creek Airport. Did my flight training there at Vincennes University. Nice.
Yeah, that was for American 812, American 812.
Zero Xbox, welcome aboard. All the cool kids are coming out. Opus 67, we're flying from Denver to Minneapolis. So we go outside for a little bit.
American 812, stand up.
In a Piper, they land when they're damn well ready. That they do.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to do some. Next time I go up, I'm gonna do some short field practice. I'll probably try to do some flying this next week for a little bit.
Redwood Falls PR Speeder 5 arrival. This is pilot's discretion. Maintain flight level 240.
So these guys are all getting a Cedar arrival.
So maintain at discretion, file 240, check 7.5.
So I can pull that up. Do Minneapolis St. Paul.
Mini Center, good afternoon. Pressure, good evening. Delta 1013. We're with you 370, 157 from spot 0.
Skeeter 5 is what they're getting.
So the 1013 Minneapolis Center arrival.
So so what these guys in front of me are getting is Redwood Falls Skeeter 5 arrival, which takes them up to Chimp, either Monkey or Chimp. So we're going to expect that we're going to get that arrival, but we'll give it a few minutes for them. Because right now we're filed and we're planning for something completely different. Chili Willies, thanks for the host. Smurf John, welcome aboard. Good to see you guys. When are you going to be coming through Lafayette? That's my field. I will be in Lafayette on August, assuming the weather holds out, August 11th. We'll be cruising through there around probably right around 4:30 or so. Probably between 4 and 5 o'clock. It's going to be a quick just land, taxi back, and take off. It's going pretty well, Chili. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, land, taxi back, take off. Like I said, we'll have a buddy of mine. I'm going to have the plane and the instructor, and it's mostly just I want to get some cross country practice in places that aren't New England, and I want to go for a flight up there. So whatever, like I'm going to do it. It's probably going to be a pretty expensive flight too. Like it's a steam gauge Cessna 172 for I think $180, $180 an hour. And then the instructor, I believe, is another $50. Like it's about $220, $230 an hour to rent a steam gauge 172 from this airport. So, and we're gonna have at least an hour and a half in the air, probably closer to 2 hours. So yeah, it'll be an expensive one, but whatever. It'll be a good time. Not back on campus by then. That's all right. Cali Pilot, I was a Purdue graduate, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. I studied organizational leadership and supervision. Like a chump.
Is currently
we're flying up to Minneapolis. Oh, where am I going for my trip? I'm going back to Indiana for a long weekend to see the Drum Corps International World Championships with a buddy of mine, and then I'm going to head out to the Azores in Portugal for a week.
Any chance for my 5 or 8-4?
Yeah, I currently am at destinate for somebody.
For the 14 Canadian Roger. Maintain Mach 0.84 here.
Mach 0.84. I spent nearly $1,000 on Cessna 172M a few weekends ago, 3.7 hours cross country. Oh, man!
FedEx 5D9, contact center 132.35.
Let's take a flight down to Long Island. Soon. Once I have my ticket, I'll be up for that.
13235, takes 5 ahead.
I'm not gonna bother with New York and whatnot until I have my ticket. Bought the CRD200 from X-Plane store. This week my bank account was fraud at $308. I don't know that it's from xplane.org, but that sucks. 7652 Tango Whiskey, good to see you. Happy Friday. How do you update the IXEG 737-300? Go to xaviation.com and download the latest version. When you say New England, do you mean New England somewhere in Boston? Yes, I live near Boston.
Minneapolis, Canadian FedEx 0168, level 3.
I live up just north of the city. And I fly out of Lawrence, KLWM.
Yeah, I'm on 503, 350.
Can I make a long haul from Europe to the States? Probably not. Long hauls do not interest me in the slightest. Like this hour and a half long flight already has me just like, what am I doing with my life? Because we're still 36 minutes en route.
May 12, maintain Mach 0.74.
You fly out of Norwood. I flew over Norwood last night. So I don't know if you were here earlier, McShady. I did my night cross country last night. We flew Lawrence, we flew over Bedford, we flew over Norwood, and we went down to Plymouth. And it was a pretty cool flight. Super nice out last night. Went from EDF to Boston, tried to find me. Well, if you're on approach for runway 22 left, if you're on that ILS, I live underneath the ILS 22 left. I see planes flying over my house every day. Or nearly every day. SG West Trip, welcome aboard. It's good to see you. Firehawk Sim, welcome aboard. American 812 wants to chase you down. Yeah, dude, he's been in your butt the whole time here.
Minneapolis Center, good afternoon. The 2650, got a 260 Minneapolis Center around here.
Going to Bedford tomorrow. Nice, Max. Via Nantucket. What's up in Bedford? Go see some private jets up there, probably. I'm going to be... Actually, no, I'm going to be on the beach tomorrow afternoon. I'll look for you. Does the place I listed where I flew last night are all places in the UK? I know, yeah. So when the Pilgrims and everybody from the UK came over here and they started naming cities, they named the cities after all of the cities in the UK. So basically every town out here is ripped off from the UK. Dan in Vermont, good to see you, man. House full of guests, didn't think I'd make it. Well, I'm glad to have you, dude. I'm glad you're spending your time with me and not your guests. Hope you got a scotch or something to.
Mary 25.
Dropping a lady friend off. Ah.
Denver 135.6 American 70.
Is this the same lady friend Max, or is this another one?
728.
Dad Gamer, good to see you, man. Happy Friday.
Minneapolis Center, double 20,
We were talking about you earlier, Max. We were talking about the Cirrus and how much room it has. How the back is actually quite cozy. You wouldn't want to get in the back of the Cherokee, that's for sure. If you're my size or even Max's size.
Yeah, the center does patrol with the Captain Boys.
There's a Carlisle in the UK. Don't know.
Well, it's 144 Minneapolis, right?
Oh boy. Ah. Lunch in Nantucket and then going to see your parents for the weekend. Oh boy. It's getting serious, Max. Have you flown into Bedford yet?
199, Roger.
We don't want to touch Bedford because Bedford is like super expensive to put your wheels down on. All things considered. Like it's actually not that expensive, but to land there for any purpose, they're basically going to bang you with a charge because it's so busy. Flying from EDDF to LEX right now. Currently in Winnipeg Center. You got a long flight ahead of you. Griggsy 800, welcome aboard. Just took off from Denver, heard you on the radios, and my son crashed on the way to Salt Lake City. That sucks. Smurf John, welcome aboard. Oh, you're not meeting her parents. Okay. Oh, you're flying her to see her parents. You're not going to meet her parents. All right. Not quite as serious then. Did I live in the dorms at Purdue? Yeah, I lived 2 years at Harrison Hall. And then I moved off to my apartment just off campus. I was in the dorms for 2 years, in my apartment for 2 years, and then I lived up north of the city for a year after I graduated. PPL, yeah, PPL's coming up, man. So
Pilot discretion down for 0247 American Metro.
let's pull up the big spreadsheet here. We haven't looked at this for a while. So the current PPL estimate is 45 hours total with 32 hours of dual instruction. Okay? 45 total, 32 dual. I currently have 33.1 hours total, 27.4 hours dual, and 5.7 hours solo. Based on my estimate, that leaves me with 11.9 hours to go and 4.6 hours dual. So this solo time in here also includes my 5 hours of cross-country time solo that I still have to do. I had to pass my written exam too. The written exam I'm going to try to take next week. I think I'm going to be in a position like Tuesday or Wednesday to be able to take that. And then once I've done that, my instructor will clear me to start doing my solo cross-countries. So we'll get those knocked out. I have to do one more night flight. So I have another hour and a half, 1.2 more hours of night flight to do. And then after that, it's just whatever I have for check ride prep. So the night flight is the night flight and the solo cross countries is the last of the actual requirements that I have for flying. And then after that, it's check ride prep and sort of get ready for the big event. So we're currently in for a total of $5,637 in flying fees. That includes $4,000 on the plane and $1,700 in the instructor, and about $2,600 in non-flying fees. Things like headsets, insurance, test prep, RAM mounts, and a lot of stuff here is superfluous. Like you don't actually need this stuff. Oops, no, don't do that. You don't actually need this stuff, but yeah, this is how I've tracked all of my expensive. And I'll probably end up making the spreadsheet public once I'm all finished. We'll do a big video talk about it, kind of go through the numbers and break it down for people that are interested in the financial portions of flight training, because this has helped me kind of keep my eye on the prize and keep my sanity. This number is going to go to like 6 months now, or no, 5 months, and adjust things that way. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I did 1.8 hours night training last night, and I have 1.2 more of those to go, and then it's solo cross country and check ride prep. So we're getting close. I still think I'm on target for the end of August or the beginning of September to be all finished. We pay landing phase everywhere down under, $15 in my local CTAF field, $25 at Gold Coast Class C, $10 a little airstrip where I went the other day. Crap, man, that's expensive. You were in Meredith. Cool. $25 grand for PPL down under. Yeah, it like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that expensive. Like the total. So I didn't show the total cost. So I'm in for about. I've spent about $8,200 right now. So I spent $8,200. I have $1,600 to go. By the time it's all said and done, now this doesn't include the like $600 I'm gonna have to spend on my check ride, but before the check ride, I'm gonna be at $9,800. And that's just in that also includes my non-flying expenses. So that's what we're looking at.
Giant 46 Heavy is with you at flight level 160.
X-Plane Master, thank you for 4 months of support. Seems like I've been here longer than 4 months, but as long as I'm subscribed. Cheers, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for your continued support.
380 for Giant 46 Heavy.
Thank you to everybody who has joined and everybody who's re-upped tonight. I am overjoyed by the support that I've seen with the whole partnership thing. Like the partnership has been the catalyst for making me be able, like allowing me to be able to do my flight training. Like it doesn't cover it's not covering the entire cost of training, but it's covering enough that it sort of covered the gap. Got my PPL for 11,000. C210T, good to see him. Yeah, I mean the price varies. Like I could have gotten my cost down probably $1,500 if I really wanted to. By not buying quite so much extraneous crap.
One more time for
if I'd been a little bit more focused early on in my training, and things like that. But it was not. For me, it's not about getting the PPL and calling that the end. Like it's making sure that when I get there, I'm able to use it and able to do stuff with it. And
32, 35.
I'm not as concerned about $1,000 or $2,000 here and there to kind of get myself there. What's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal, I want to get my instrument rating and I want to be able to travel with it. I'm not going to do commercial. I have no interest in commercial flying. I'll leave that to people that are much more motivated and much more likely to get a medical than me. Third class medical was enough stress in my life, so yeah. And honestly, like I do okay in my day job, and I'm not terribly interested in taking pay cut to go fly professionally. So yeah, just fly recreationally, man. Try to do 40, 50 hours a year if I can.
Delta 1013, safety.
I appreciate you, J10GB. Cole Hood, welcome aboard. Good to see you.
0.786.
AK Pilot Dream says I can leave it to you. All right. I'll let you guys do the crazy stuff.
CAC 717, say Mach.
Mach 0.72, Cactus 717. I think it's about time for the fun to start.
Roger.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, Max, I'm excited for the IFR stuff as well. Well, we'll have to see if 2-3 Juliet's going to be the platform for that or not, but we will see what happens. Am I going to get my instrument ticket? Yeah, I'm probably going to work on the instrument next year. So I'm going to work on like through the rest of this year. Like if I let's say I get my ticket in September, then September through the beginning of next year is sort of working on all my cross country stuff, like working on my 50 hours cross country PIC. And just making myself better at VFR flying, and then once I feel confident with that, then we can start looking into starting the instrument training. But probably next year. I'm also running out of money too, so there's that. Like there's the very real discussion about the instrument ticket's going to be another $10,000. So maybe my wife wouldn't be so happy if I did that right away.
Level 7 Delta 15 for your.
Holy hell, you're loud.
Retard.
Louis Mons, take it easy, man. We'll see you.
Retard.
Boeing Man 2425, thank you for 3 months of support. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. You take lessons here and there, but I think it's more cost-effective to stay so you have a block of time, chunk of money to knock it out, of course, for several months versus flying every now and then. End up taking 2 steps back, 1 step forward. Yeah, that's for sure. That was my original plan, was to take it nice and slow. And then I realized that financially I could afford to go a little heavier. And so once I started doing twice a week, things really started to click, and I was able to, really push forward. And it was.
Yeah, 717, turn 0 vector for Sigma.
Was that 030 for Cactus 717?
090.
090 Cactus 717. Okay. 090, heading select. Yeah, so like when I started doing twice a week allowed me to kind of get that base so that I was able to finally land a plane. Because my biggest problem was just I was flying in such garbage weather there for a number of weeks, which ultimately made me a better pilot. But I was flying in such garbage weather that I spent like 12 hours getting to the point to where I was able to like comfortably land a damn plane. Like I probably spent 10 hours in the pattern just round and round and round and round and round and round in circles, just trying to get to a point to where I could do something with the airplane. And it was just the last 10% of the flight. It was from 500 feet down that I was having issues with. But like I was flying on days where it was 18 gust 25 at like a 60-degree crosswind and kind of days like that. So like I just had miserable weather through the early part of my training. And yeah, like upping the number of lessons per month or per week ended up being kind of the catalyst for making it all finally click and getting to the points where, okay, I feel real comfortable now.
American 28 corrections, Delta 2897, 2019, possible 240.
But at the same time, like those early lessons, there wasn't a whole lot of value with those early lessons to packing them in. The first 5 or 6 hours of flight, you kind of want, like, I'm kind of glad I had the week to 2 weeks to think about it, right? Like, I'm happy that I had a chance to sort of think about what I was doing, think about how it was going, debrief, watch my GoPro videos and things like that. So, I started off kind of slow, but I don't know that I'd want to do it any other way. And then once I started getting a good feel for the fundamentals, you pick it up and then you can start doing more. And like Max says, it's very addictive too, yes. Took me forever to land on the center line. No matter the width of the runway, I always landed halfway between the center line and the edge of the runway. Yeah, dude, I had some real bad landings there. Like there were a number where I hit the center line and then for whatever reason, I pushed the rudder and off the side we go. Alpha 011, good to see you. Slashed, welcome aboard. You caught a stream. Yes, you did. We're just about to come into Minneapolis.
Cactus 7, left name 360.
360, Cactus 717. Okay.
Cactus 717, any chance for Mach 0.76?
We can give you 0.76, 717.
That's 717, roger. Maintain Mach 0.76 or greater.
Okay, Mach 0.76, Cactus 717. That's the best we got.
Thank you. So the 1013, maintain Mach 0.77.
Alright, so we took ourselves out of VNAV, went to speed hold mode, changed the speed to Mach 0.76. So we'll get that little bit of acceleration so we can help him with the sequencing and whatnot. I could probably get 7.7 or 7.8 out of it, but I wouldn't really want to take that chance. So 7.6 is all I'm going to give him. And I can see that we've got some traffic out there on that airway that kind of getting vectored around. I think he just let somebody pass us, is what happened. JC Willem, good to see you.
Sorry, that was who?
Tristan TL, welcome aboard. Kahu, this is the first of 2 legs. The second leg will be Minneapolis over to Osh Kosh. Laserbeam, have a good night. Alex Craft, welcome aboard. Simas, we're flying on the VATSIM network. This is online, yes. The star I have filed is the Torgy 3. But they're reassigning everybody, I think, to the Skeeter 5. So we'll see what they end up doing. Actually, I'm probably not going to get reassigned because I'm coming in on the star now. The Torgy 3. Torgy 3 starts at Swan.
13235.
132.35.
Sabine, good to see you.
See you, thanks.
Children to land on the center of a RC runway. Yeah, no kidding.
Cactus 17, the center maintain flight level 340.
Level 340, Cactus 717. Okay, so we'll go 340, vertical speed, pull our nose down, about 1,000 feet per minute. Just take it nice and easy.
Good evening, Papa 4164, level 360.
And Cactus, direct Swan join Torgy 3.
Okay. Start paying attention soon. Anybody going to Osh Kosh this year?
Cactus 717, direct Swan join Torgy 3.
Direct Swan joined to Torgy 3, Cactus 717. Alright, so we'll
Check
go
it in with 2.
direct intersection. Alright, go to legs page. Swan, direct. Execute.
That was 4184 Minneapolis.
And we'll go to LNAV. That turns us in towards Swan.
Cactus 717 is going to maintain level 240.
Level 240, Cactus 717. Okay, 24,000.
So it's 4109.
Take the rate of descent to 1,800 feet per minute now. Because this is going to be the start of our proper descent.
So the 7199 finding 090 traffic.
So flying the Torgy 3 arrival, that means at Eric X, we're going to be 280 knots.
Again,
So I'm going to do my transition from Mach to Mach to indicated. We're going to make it at 280 knots here indicated.
Yeah, 092.
We're basically done with the VNAV.
199.
You're the Torgy 3 as well. Sweet. You're 81 from O1L.
13285. Thank you very much for
Yeah, you're still back there a ways from me.
Yeah. So the 13 is going to maintain level 240.
15 minutes en route. We got about 15, 20 minutes. We'll be on the ground. We're flying the Torgy 3 arrival. We just crossed the Swan intersection.
46.
If you want to follow along.
Traffic, no fractures. I'm going to maintain level 380.
Great door because there's no traffic.
Have I ever flown on a DC-10? No. I have not.
Very 1206. Contact Minneapolis 322435.
Okay, 2225 he just gave somebody. So we'll plan for that.
Cactus 717, 132.5.
132.25, Cactus 717.
3235, thanks for the help.
35, we'll see it. Alright, 32, 35. Got that completely wrong.
1013, maintain Mach 0.75 at Oshkosh.
American 1206, Minneapolis Center, good evening. Descend via the Mr. 3 arrival.
280 on the speed.
Minneapolis Altimeter 2981.
Because there's a 280 knot speed restriction at Eric. We'll see if that speed comes down, stays steady, or if it goes higher.
American Roger, let it personal when you got that. You can also delete the speed.
It's coming down a little bit here. So we'll stay at 1,800 feet per minute. Wait till we get to 18 or 280 knots. We might be able to bring it down another 100 feet per minute. Minneapolis Center, Cactus 717, flight level 295, descending flight level 240.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis Center, Roger. Descend via the Torgy 3 arrival, runway 12 right, Minneapolis altimeter 2981.
Descend via the Torgy 3 arrival for 12 right, Cactus 717. Is that what we have plugged in here?
How's it going, Cat?
Oh, fantastic. How are we doing?
Pretty good, man.
You busy yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Only got to get worse. That means that's my controller. If you guys want to see my controller, then let's do this. Alright.
Oh, yeah. You maintain
so my controller right now is streaming as ground.9er. So twitch.tv/ground_point_9er.
knots or greater.
If you want to go say hello to him while we're coming in here, multi-twitch it or just open another window or whatever. This is the guy who's got us. You'll be able to...
270.
270, Cactus 717. That's the guy who's got us right now. So go say hi to him. His name is AJ. He's a nice dude. He works for Pilot Edge, but he's one of the dudes that does a lot of work here with the Minneapolis folks. Okay. This would be the Torgy 3. We need to cross 8,000 feet is what we're heading down to. 8,000. And then I need to figure out, do I have... Okay, I have the ILS 2 right, or 12 right already plugged in here, so we're good to go. So I plugged in the right ILS to begin with. And we'll just keep on descending here. So Eric X is above 240 and 280 knots.
Center, Southwest 8375. Southwest 8375, Minneapolis Center.
Okay, so we're doing okay. So we're gonna cross Eric X right about where we want to be. D Corb here for 6 months. Mr. Corb, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Thanks for the bits too.
375 again. Climb and maintain pluggable 230 altitude check.
The bits didn't show up, did they?
230.
There they go. Thank you, Mr. Corb.
American 1206.
Evan W, it's good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. What's the call sign? Cactus. Cactus is US. Yep, like you said, US Airs. RC Flyer got me beat.
American 1206.
Sorry, it's gonna be a little tough for me to catch chat now as we're kind of coming in here. Okay, there's Eric X. Next is Torgy above 13,000.
Mini Center Delta 1013, we're with you 250 or 260 for 240.
And let's grab the ATIS real quick for Minneapolis.
Turn 30 degrees left vectors for spacing. And the best discretion maintained.
Okay, we have November. Winds 140 at 6.
300, or correction, 30 degrees left. And
2981.
240, 1013.
And simultaneous ILS 12. So they're using 12 right and 12 left. They're using both 12 right and 12 left.
Discretion of 200, 1013.
Okay, so we have November.
8375, contact Minneapolis Center, 14.2.
Once we get to 18,000 feet, we'll switch over to 2981. And then we'll also switch our altimeter. Or we'll also switch the lights on.
At Minneapolis FedEx 016, checking in for 280 over 240.
And we'll check on...
016, Minneapolis Center, Roger, good evening. Cactus 717, increase to 280.
280, Cactus 717. Okay, there's 280.
Delta 260, reduce speed to 280 or less.
Nope, none. I'm looking at my charts here, and I'm like, why am I not seeing the ILS? And I was looking at Denver.
I'm sorry, reduce speed now to 280 after Austin, comply with the speed.
Okay.
All right,
So let's go ahead and brief the arrival, the approach real quick. I've already talked about the arrival enough. So we're going to be flying the ILS 12 right arrival into Minneapolis. We're going to be flying it from Krug. Krug has a 7,000 foot altitude restriction and a speed below 210 knots. From there, we'll fly to FX, and then we'll join the localizer at Zesty. Zesty will be 11.2 miles from the localizer, and Zesty will be above 4,000 feet.
That was for 1013, correct?
Frequency is going to be 110.3.
1013 affirmative, direct 4D 3.
So the localizer is going to be, we'll tune into 110.3 and we'll be setting the course for 121. So we can actually set that up here. 110.3. All right.
70260.
110.3. Course of 121. Okay, that's set, that's set. And the minimums today for a Cat 2 landing is going to be 100 feet. 100 feet on the decision altitude. 100 feet right here. Fantastic. That's going to be our approach. So we're set up and ready for that.
And Center 1013, just want to make sure you want us to stop the descent at 200 for now, correct?
Delta 1013 affirmative, and I was just about to give you the descent via now. You can descend via the Torgy 3 arrival, comply with the speed, Minneapolis altimeter is 2981.
Okay, Torgy is above 13,000 feet. We are 11 miles from
32 will
Torgay,
follow the
descending about
speed
1,800 feet per minute, so we should be okay with that.
1013.
We should be just fine with this speed that we're doing.
Across the Shawn intersection and maintain 11000 Minneapolis.
Zoom that sucker in a little more.
81.
There's 18,000 feet, so we're going to go 2981.
11,000 for the 016 heavy.
Expect a handoff to approach here fairly soon. We'll pull the inner lights on. We'll pull the runway turnoff lights on. We'll go continuous. Just less things to worry about, especially since we're flying in some clouds here. Outside air temperature is 5.5 degrees Celsius, so we don't need to worry about icing. Great. This is the FNO this week. Yes, Mr. Korb. Ghost Rider, a.k.a. Jonathan, thank you for the 120 bits. I appreciate it.
Flight present heading and descend to maintain 7,000 vectors, 14 right approach.
To maintain 7,000.
Doesn't X-Plane display as a game on Twitch? It can. IXEG Classic indeed, yeah. Version 1.2. Flying the U.S. Airways. We flew into Denver's U.S. Airways last week.
Cactus 717, contact Minneapolis approach, 35.47, good night.
3547, Cactus 717. Great night, AG.
Center Delta 1838, 263 for 240.
Minneapolis approach, Cactus 717, 15,700, 280 assigned on the speed, and we've got November.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis approach, expect my 12 right, Minneapolis altimeter 29 or 81.
We'll expect 12 right, 81 in the altimeter, Cactus 717. So we've still been assigned 280 knots. Obviously, we're going to come off of that here fairly soon as we get to 10,000 feet. There's no other speed restrictions for us to really care about, though. Once we're below 10,000 feet, we've got a 230 knot speed restriction at Spucky. Ofsen has a altitude restriction of 11,000 feet, which we are not in danger of breaking. And after Ofsen, we're down to 7,000 feet. So 7,000 feet at Spucky before the banana bar is where we want to be. We can actually pull our rate of descent up just a touch here, which we're going to need to do anyway when we slow down for 10,000.
American 1206 approach.
Well, Lizard, you did make it just in time. Yes, sir. Duke Demon, welcome aboard. I am flying into Minneapolis. My first time into Minneapolis.
American 1206, change your runway, expect runway 12 left, flighting 010, vector towards that approach, maintain 8,000.
Well, that guy's quiet. Okay.
American 1206, let's make the heading 020 now.
All right, 1,700 feet from it will get us down there. And 12,000 feet, or actually 12,500 feet will pull the speed back to 250 knots.
1013 with you 1472 from Torgay.
You don't have to answer, just curious, did you meet your wife in Mass or the Midwest? No, I met her out here. I met my wife out here on Match.com. I actually moved down to Massachusetts. I used to live in New Hampshire. I moved down to Massachusetts to be closer to my wife and eventually, you know, get married.
Delta 260, contact approach on 126.95.
126.95, Delta 260.
Yep.
Okay. 2,000 feet to go until 10. Crank the landing lights on.
Approach, good evening, 184, sending Room 3 at November.
Southwest 4184, Minneapolis approach, descend via the Bloom 3 arrival, runway 13.
Give it a shot of speed brakes here if we're not slowed down. Yeah, we'll probably need to add a little bit of speed brake just to get ourselves down to 250.
06, flying 360.
Just enough to let them know we're still here. There's no shame in using your speed brakes. Let's just sit in silence to appreciate Minnesota's beauty. It's so flat. We got plenty of appreciation to go, too. Just past O&L, nice. Yeah, it's going to be super busy. A P-51 Mustang once I have my license. Yeah, I don't think so. These are friggin' death traps. There's 10,000 feet. We're more or less 250, close enough. Okay, let's go in at ref.
Cactus 717, contact approach, 126.95.
2695, Cactus 717, we'll see it. Okay, 2695.
Stop 760, descend and maintain 5,000. Fly heading
Speed brakes in. Approach Cactus 717, 9,100, Torgy 3. Yep. Geekle Twitch, this is the FNO on VATSIM tonight.
268, reduce speed to 210.
Minneapolis fly-in.
Caution, wait, turn up to fall, Boeing 757 on the final.
2:30 at Spucky.
Denver Delta 260.
We'll just pull that speed back. By the time that we get down to 7,000 feet and then level off, we'll be able to slow down to 230. So that's our next speed restriction. This guy has not acknowledged me calling
Approach
in.
that for Delta 260.
Delta 260, sorry, yeah. Reduce speed to 210, then descend and maintain 4,000.
Okay, approach. We're going to approach flaps 30.
Reduce speed to 210 and down to 4,000.
So 30/133.
We're actually already below 210.
Minneapolis approach Cactus 717, 7,400, Torgy 3. You must acknowledge me or I will continue calling you. Yeah, Ground Point Niner's got some pretty crazy stuff going on in his scope. As Jen says, use them early and often. It's a slippery plane. Okay, there's the level off. Here we go to 7,000.
Approach Delta 260. Can we actually go lower than 210? We're trying to shave off this speed as much as possible before the approach.
Okay, 230 at Spucky, and then after Spucky, we go down to 210 for Krug. We have not been given an approach or anything to fly, just an expect. And I think this controller seems to have gone MIA. Approach Cactus 717. Okay, there's Spucky. Now we'll go down to 210 knots. We will recognize that our controller...
Minneapolis approach, Delta 1013.
Our controller is nowhere to be found. He probably went to take a bathroom break.
Minneapolis approach Delta 260.
I'll just give him a light tap on the text here. Be like, hey, dude, where you at? And then I'm just going to continue flying the approach that I'm expecting. We were told to expect 12 right, so we're going to fly 12 right.
Minneapolis approach Delta 2.
We'll get tower queued up here, and I'll just call tower up. Okay, north tower and south tower. We're coming in on 1-2 right, so that's going to be the south tower. That's going to be 26.7.
Roger, 090 for flight 260.
$26.7.
On the 6,000, on 13.
I'm just going to keep flying this approach.
And we're for the airport, up to 260.
Okay, arm speed brakes.
Right localizer.
Arm the auto brakes. These require me to pull them back ever so slightly. 190 to intercept the localizer. Speed 190.
And Delta 260 is here.
Okay, VOR loc. Activate that. Just put me on the approach. Like, if you're going to do text, just clear me for the damn approach.
Climb. Climb. Clear of conflict. Traffic. Retard. Retard. Retard.
All right, 10 miles out from the field. I got it in sight now. .170 speed limit till final. .26.7.
On Kilo 10, ready for departure.
Okay, let's get that out.
Ready
Pull the
for
gear down.
departure, Southwest
Need to get some drag going here.
Southwest 4162, runway 17. Flight runway heading for takeoff in 1305.
Runway heading clear for takeoff, runway 17, Southwest 4160.
And we're 170 knots till 5 mile final, which is kind of, sucks.
17 line up and wait.
We've already overshot the damn glide slope. Just take over the
approach
plane.
the 26 with you on the visual 1-2 right.
Oh, VATSIM.
Delta 260.
Okay. My airplane.
Power, Roger, on 1-2 right, continue. Continue on 1-2 right, Delta 260. 249, take the left turn there, hustle off. So I got landing traffic, streaming down the runway.
You got it. Make a left turn.
Thank you much, Delta 260. I'll have that American guy out of your way. Runway 1-2 right, clear to land. 1-2 right, clear to land of 260.
Tower Cactus 77.
467, runway 17, line up and wait.
Southwest 4160, boarding takeoff.
Tower Cactus 717, visual 1-2 right, 5 out.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis Tower. Roger, runway number 2, runway 1-2 right, clear to land, wind 1305.
Little end number 2, Cactus 1-2 right, Cactus 717. The hell is he? Okay, he's on short final. Hope he vacates. Cutting it kind of close here.
1,000.
Mostly because I'm diving.
Boy, you.
Very.
Okay.
Tower, Southwest 162 has takeoff. We are now
2 white, 2
on
red, there's
Lima
speed.
3.
Southwest 4167, Roger. What do you need?
Still on my runway.
We possibly get 1-2 right for departure.
Still on my runway.
Southwest 4162.
Okay, it's clear.
On,
Okay, gear down, 3 green. Flaps are set. Lights.
Then,
Auto brake, speed brake.
Minimum. I'm sorry, 41 Lima, or Kilo.
50. 40.
Roger that. Taxi straight ahead, cross 17 left on Kilo, Southwest 4162.
Float.
Delta 260, ground for an enter. Go ahead for Delta 260. Delta 260, thanks for your help, ground point 9, please.
Ground point 9, Delta 260, see you later. Ooh, Cactus, you could do me a favor and hustle off when you can, left when able to join Papa, ground point 9.
Okay, we're exiting ground point 9 off Papa, 717.
Alright, we're going to try this again. American 249, runway 1 right, line up and wait. Be ready to go traffic 4 mile final.
Line up runway 12 right. We'll be ready when you are, sir, American 249.
1013, we're with you, 6.5 mile final, 12 left, 12 right, sir.
Del 1013.
Okay, 121 Niner.
Position, runway 1 right, clear to land, wind 1305.
Where does American park? Delta, 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 Delta. Delta. United. Delta. American. Okay. Going for the alley. Ground Cactus 717 is clear at Alpha 3, or Alpha 4, I should say, looking for the alley.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis ground, Alpha Delta into the alley. Have a good night.
Alpha Delta the alley, Cactus 717. We'll see in a few. Okay, let's get the APU on. 1, 2, 3. Strobe lights off. Landing lights off. Taxi light on. Runway turn off lights can come off. See ya. This is freeware scenery.
Ground 35 heavy, crest pressure 24.
FedEx 589, quick cross runway 2, it's closed at the moment.
Realistic minus the nasally kids pretending to be tower. Ah, it's alright.
American 12-0.
Honestly, everything was fine except for the controller decided to go MIA. And he must have been having some voice issues or something because he switched over to text. Check out my taxiway. You guys on my taxiway. Where's he going?
And ground 5 heavy, clear runway 22.
Okay.
FedEx 589 heavy.
Clear of my taxiway. Go park next to our American buddies over here. Is it the one where the images are blocked? Yes. Trip Taker, good to see you. The Judd, welcome aboard. Pick a 5-string, welcome aboard. Good to see you guys. Okay, pop our taxi light off.
FedEx 589, verify you're turning left on Mike, sir.
679 was turning left on
Good
Mike,
sir. Could it be that you're possibly lost at my airport? Oh dear. Echo 11, that's us. Yep. No auto gate. And park brake, overhead panel. Let's get the hydros off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do APU gen 2. APU bleed on. Engine bleed, or packs, APU bleed on. Engine bleeds off. The right pack can come off. Pitot and static can come off. Overhead panel looks good. We'll bring the, oops, leave the position light on, but we'll turn the anti-collision light off. And kill the engines. Yeah, dude, this thing flies nice. I floated it halfway down the runway, which is not ideal. But I was coming in super hot, super fast, and I was more concerned about the guy ahead of me who was not vacating my runway. But yeah, man, that was good. We're gonna do another flight. We are gonna head out to Osh Kosh next. Nice little charter flight there for us. Regain my composure here too. That was a pretty intense end of that flight right there. So we'll go find ourselves a spot here to check out the airport. Watch people coming in and leaving. There's a Southwest terminal over there. No kidding. Didn't even notice that. That's cool. We'll leave ourselves in the yellow. Let's actually come in here. Let's turn the transponder off. 1200 auto. Standby. All right, guys. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to step away for a little bit. Take a little 5-minute breather or so. Come back. I'll plan the next flight. If you guys want to come join us, we're going to be leaving Minneapolis and heading out to Oshkosh. K-O-S-H. And I'll have a route and all that stuff, or you can come up with your own. I'm just going to do whatever SimBrief gives me, to be honest. It should be about a half-hour, 45-minute flight, so it'll be a much shorter one. And we'll get going. Yeah, I do actually need more beer. That's part of it. That's on the agenda. So, guys, if you're taking off, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. If you're sticking around, we'll see you here in a few minutes. And, yeah, we'll be right back. Cue the danger zone. That's right. Oh, crap. Let's get some, let's see here. How about you? And you. No, I didn't want that one. That's the one I wanted. All right, we'll be right back. So let's do this. Let's do you. There we go. Get a little tower action going. Right back.
Southwest 4162, hope you enjoyed your tour. Turn right at 150, contact departure. Give a straight out of it.
I will go with to departure, Southwest 4162. Good day.
Tower Delta 1838 with you for 312 right.
Delta 1838 tower. 5937, right there. 1305.
Yeah, so I want you right, Delta 1838.
Delta 2948, welcome to Minneapolis 3rd, left mail, going Alpha, Delta Center.
Tower, good evening, Southwest 418 for Island for Runway 1
Southwest 4184, Minneapolis Tower, speaking. Runway 1 right, flying runway 140.
Blue Island, please don't land runway 1 right, Southwest 4184.
Delta 1838, welcome to Minneapolis, left there. Join Alpha, ground 490.
Join Alpha, ground 490, Delta 1838, thanks.
Ready 2185 for 1-2 right. Americans 2185, 8 behind the tower, 8 behind the southwest 737, runway 1 right. Settle in 140. I clear that one to right, American 2185. Southwest 4184, welcome to Minneapolis. Turn right, join Whiskey, and ground point 9.
Right, join Whiskey, ground point 9, Southwest 4184, good day.
It has recommended I fly the Tahoe 1 departure to Mustang. Which, if you know anything about departures, is not in Minneapolis. I am Relic. Thanks for 7 months. This payment is like a drug deal. I give you money, you give me good content. Anyway, keep up the great work, like as always. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, I am Relic. I think I missed it earlier. I'm sorry. Hope you're still here. Cheers. Little Woodford Reserve. This is freeware scenery from the org. Freeware Minneapolis. All right. We'll plan for 12 left. Actually, we'll plan for 12 right. And then coming in on runway 9. I don't have a departure for me. suspect they're gonna want me on a departure. Let's see what we got. MSP. Oh, probably not. The Zimbro 6 maybe to ODI.
Even Minneapolis Tower, Southwest 798 with you ready for takeoff from like 17 kilo 10.
Let's take a peek at that. Zimbro 6 departure.
Southwest 798, Minneapolis Tower, runway 17, fly runway heading, search for takeoff, 140.
Takeoff runway 17, Southwest 798.
To ODI. Let's see what that does for us.
Retard, retard, retard.
You know what? I'm just gonna go with what it's recommending me. Let's check flight aware. See what's been filed there. Brown bag code here for 7 months. 7 months still going. Keep the great streams tight. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate your support, buddy. Cheers. Dude, we gotta get together for a beer sometime.
On Charlie, cross runway.
And when I get my license, you're gonna go flying with me.
Tango, cross runway 4 to cargo.
That's good stuff right there. Oh, there's nothing to display. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm just gonna go with this route.
American 2185, join Alpha, head to the gate, ground point 9.
Actually, no, I don't want. I'm gonna go with the one. I'm gonna go with the Zimbro 6. So Zimbro 6 to ODI.
Also 2458 on tower. Traffic crossing down.
All right, let's do some. I actually have to do some planning right now. That brings you in right through the MOA. Interesting.
All right, no delay. UPS 495.
I don't like that.
Southwest 4109.
So we'll do the Zimbro 6. Combination of we're doing a combination of Sky Vector and some 4-flight here. So let's turn him down. Zimbro 6 ODI. That takes me down there. And then let's get us to the ILS.
Retard.
Not for the ILS 36. We'll plan for the RNAV runway 9er. So WVMO or head up. We're definitely not doing our rip into Fisk because we're not flying that visual approach. Okay, so there's some restricted airspace we need to steer clear of. So I want to stay clear of the restricted airspace. The MO I don't really care about. Oh yeah, definitely going to go to Lincoln Park at some point. You're free a lot until October. What happens in October? Give it a baby? We could use a 4-flight web, yeah. XT pilot, good to see, man. Okay, so we're going to come down south. We'll grab this Zavox intersection, and then we will head... Actually... Blast from the past on this song. WVMO. Do we want to go to WVMO? Let's see where that puts us. WVMO doesn't exist. WVMO. No. Seriously? Let's grab the RNAV runway 9er. WUVMO. It definitely exists. It's actually a waypoint, but you won't take it. Okay. Well, we'll plan for this. and see if they end up giving it to us. All right, and that's what we're filing. Zimbro 6 to ODI, Zavix, and then heat up. Okay, pop that in there. Analyze that route. A little bit out of the way, but that's okay. All right, let's file. Let's generate that OFP. Baby coming soon. Oh man, it's baby season. Congratulations, sir. I didn't know. And yeah, that Sunset Pub Grill, dude, that place is awesome. Flew into Osh Kosh one time a couple years ago. It is crazy, yeah. It's definitely different when you're coming in IFR too versus VFR. Whew. Oh, crap, that's strong. Maybe I shouldn't use a whiskey stone. I should actually use some ice. I just got freaking goosebumps taking a sip of that drink. All right. Okay, we got to file this plan, and then we'll get going. All right, grab the VATSIM ID. There's the ID. And there's the password. Get rid of all that crap. AWE 717 IFR 733 Slant Lima 409 MSP. 29,000 feet for the cruise. 38 minutes. Heading to Osh. Perfect. Let's do it. It's filed. All that's left to do is pump that into SimBrief or into ForeFlight now. So we're gonna go do just that. ODI, Zavox, Zavox. Heat up, HETUP. And then Osh. Go to plates. Plates, I say, plates. We have the approach plate in there. We'll grab from MSP the airport diagram and the Zimbro 6 departure. And then we'll grab from Osh the airport diagram. Edit. We're going to move the approach plate before the Osh airport diagram. So we have our departure airport. We have our departure procedure. We have our approach that we're planning for. And then we have the airport diagram. Fantastic. And there's our pre-departure clearance. Okay, so we're going to be AWE 717, flying from MSP to Osh. Craft. Pre-departure clearance, flies more than 2 hours, bloody, 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 blah. Departing. Okay, so transponder is going to be 3673. Maintain 7,000 on departure. Cleared as filed. Ground 21.9, departure is 124.7. Okay, plan for runway 12 left. ATC may change this. Pre-departure codes and ground metering procedures in effect. Advise delivery on 133.2 with current ATIS letter when ready for pushback. Okay, so we'll let clearance know when we're ready to push on 33.2 after we get ourselves all set up. All right, we're back. Part 2. Let's go to Osh Kosh, man. This is gonna be fun. I've never flown into Osh Kosh in the sim, so this will be interesting, especially coming out of here on an event like this. We're gonna reset though. We're gonna reset the plane here, so we'll go to preferences. We'll go to ground. Nope. Jesus, where's it at? We'll go to pre-flight, turn around, apply. That's gonna reset the plane altogether. Do not show me tips on startup. Okay. I think that's that's actually a person. You can tell it's a real person because there's no landing gear. Oh dear. All right, let's do the overhead panel. So we've reset the plane to a turnaround state, which means it undid everything that we had done before, which is fine. But we'll just run down the overhead panels real quick to make sure we got everything in place. So the left panel looks good. The second panel looks fantastic. The third panel will turn the panel lights up. No smoking sight on. Fastest seatbelt signs are off. That's good. Window heats 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll leave the pitot static heat off. We'll go ahead and leave the hydros on because I think that's why the pushback truck didn't work before. And then moving on to the right panel, we will turn off the right pack, turn on the left pack. AP bleed is on. We'll turn off both the engine bleeds. Cruising altitude this afternoon or this evening is going to be 29,000 feet. And I still have the iPad up because I'm a schmuck like that. You guys are probably yelling at me. Yep. Sorry about that. 29,000 feet. You guys didn't really miss much anyway. And the altitude that we're going to is 808 feet. 808 feet. There we go. Good. Okay, overhead panel's good. Down to the FMC. Let's go to the ground services. And we're going to want 14,800 pounds of fuel, so we'll go with an even 15. 15,000, load that up. As far as the load goes, zero fuel weight is going to be 98.1. 98.1 right there. That puts us at 113.1 gross. So 113.1 gross. And our reserves this afternoon or this evening are going to be 5.3. Cost index, 5. Because why would we want to get there? And we're going to 29,000 feet. I'm not going to worry about the cruise winds and all that. We will derate to 45. We're going to take off. It's going to be a full power derate, but like we're not going to derate this section here. We'll derate the climb, but we'll derate, you know what I mean. We won't do the extra derate on the takeoff. We'll put it that way. I don't even know what I'm sure there's a phrase and a terminology for that I have no idea what it is. So KMSP. Heading up to OSH. Good. Departing from MSP, we're planning for 12 left. We're going to be on the Zimbro 6 to ODI. Go to the route page. Activate. And then from there, we're going to go to Zavix. And from there, we're going to go to Hetup. Execute that. Takeoff page. So flaps 5, V1 130, V rotate 132, V2 141. Trim's going to be 3.4. You'll note the trim is almost always 3.4. It's because the center of gravity doesn't change. I missed a subscription. 6Ness, thank you very much for your welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Sorry. Welcome to the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. And then James X-Plane. Living in South Africa, I always have to watch your YouTube videos of your stream. I'm on vacation in New York for the first time for my first live stream. Keep up the amazing work. I start my PPL in August. Can't wait. James X-Plane, thank you very much for your support. Cheers. Welcome to New York. Welcome to America, I guess. I don't know. That seems like kind of a crappy thing to say. But thank you very much for your support, man. And look, enjoy your PPL. Like, it's a good time. We're on flight number 2. Gonna fly Minneapolis down to Oshkosh. Okay, FMC is set. Move on to the glare shield. V2's 141, so the climb out speed is going to be 156. And we'll talk about the departure. What is going on with this departure? Fly assigned heading to join the MSP 138 radial to the jetted intersection at or above 4,000 feet. Okay. Turbojet aircraft maintains 7,000. Cross the Minneapolis 7 DME at 30 above 30. Okay, I see how this is. All right. So this departure states we're going to depart on. So it's a vector departure. We're going to get vectored out of here. We're going to they'll give us a heading. We need to cross the 7 DME from Minneapolis above 3,500 feet. Eventually, they're going to put us onto the 138 radial off of Minneapolis. More than likely, they'll give us direct to the Jeddah intersection. From Jeddah, we go to Zimbro, and then down to Nodine. This is a weird departure, man. But yeah, it'll be vectored and all that good stuff. Come down here. What's your vector, Victor? Victor. 3673. And we'll go on. Okay, so we're on tower, so we'll go to 21.9, that's ground. Clearance wanted us to talk to him first at 33.2. Okay, 33.2. We'll go ahead and crank on our AP, crank on our seatbelt sign. We have to actually request push and start from him. He's basically acting as if he was a ramp controller, I think. Okay, so we're at E11. What else? What I got to do? Okay, I feel like I missed something. Glare shield set, transponder set, FMC's all set. I guess we're good, right? Lights, position, anti-collision. I don't know. Guess we're good. Typical departure for the Midwest, the last of the slant A departures and arrivals. Many are being updated to RNAV. Yeah, I think there's mostly RNAV coming out of here. It's just because we're flying such a short flight. I filed a very small, short SID. Giant Unicorn, good to see you, man. Happy Friday, Uni. Uni, I saw that you had a question get answered on the X-Plane stream the other day. I laughed because you were the first one. Tony Stark, we're flying the IXEG 737. Alright, so we're at E11. Clearance Cactus 717, gate E11, request push start.
Cactus 717, you're released. Contact Minneapolis ground 1.9 for push.
We'll go.
American 852, monitor the tower 126.7, good night.
Monitor tower, American 852, we're clear across 177.
Still November. Alright, let's get the push going. Ground services, nose to the left. Release the brakes. And we'll go ahead and go to the overhead panel. Turn off our left pack, more than 35 PSIs. And we'll start engine number 2.
Okay, monitor tower, I was across 22 southwest, 22.3, later next.
Into rotation.
And ground southwest 37, we're
Poke 2012 Chew, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Zuno, welcome aboard.
752, Minneapolis ground.
We'll set the brakes to RTO once we're doing once we're after our pushback.
And push approved, runway 17, 37.
Oh, was I supposed to actually ask him for push? It's trying to turn. It don't work though. All right.
And ground Delta 1793. I don't know if you heard me before. We're looking for Foxtrot 2.
Is that Dane Flats?
Delta 1793. I know you did not. Actually, if you can turn right and go into Fox 2 on this frequency, we'll see him.
It is.
Okay, we'll make a right turn. We'll go over to Fox 2. Delta 1793.
Dane Flats. I'm like, I recognize that voice.
616 south, 12 left at Papa. Any gates to wherever my company's been parking or anything would be fine.
Starting engine number 1. Not using a better pushback plugin. No, not yet. I'll get it installed.
See you later.
Charlie Gate, thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Dane Flats says he's not streaming though. He's just flying. I got way more excited about that than I should have.
United 279, if I didn't see you, are you ready for taxi, or are you still requesting a push?
No, we've pushed back, but we're having issues here with the air power is shutting off, so I'm going to go ahead and fix this here. Do you want us to taxi back?
We're having some problems. Am I using Bluebell CSLs? I am, yeah.
United 279, yeah, that's fine if you need to go
Mr.
back
Flats
to
is
the
quite the legend, yes. Uncooked Bacon, good to see you. Choppy Air, welcome aboard.
Alright, go ahead and do that.
Max 7 issues with the FMC.
Oh, you actually should be on taxiway Charlie, sir, but you're on taxiway Delta. That's
All right.
On Delta,
1,
hold short
2,
runway 12 right, and
bleeds.
Power 1,
You off.
6.7.
You on. You on. 1, 2.
On
Good.
Tower. Can you give me that frequency again?
Southwest
Lights.
506 Alpha 126.7. 126.7.
Flaps to 5.
127.
Auto brakes RTO.
Yep, let's try and get American 22.
Right rudder.
1-2 left on top of 3 going.
Left rudder.
15.
Left aileron.
American 20.
Right aileron.
Minneapolis ground.
Full back. Full forward.
Stand by just a moment for now. Just continue westbound on Papa.
Okay,
Let me check
let's
on
go.
the gate. I believe it is occupied.
Copy.
American 2086. Note this open. Papa Delta to the ramp at this frequency.
Alpha Delta, American 2016.
Ground Delta 5268 Heavy with you and Alpha 3, gate.
American, correction, Delta 5268 Heavy, Minneapolis ground. Do you have a gate number?
We'll take any gate at a time.
So 5268 Heavy, Roger. You can take any of the low golf gates. Those are fully capable for your type aircraft.
6 floor golf, Delta 5268.
Ground Cactus 717.
Canadian Express 210 Minneapolis. Canadian Express 210 Minneapolis ground taxi Papa to the ramp this frequency.
Over the ramp, it says 210.
Ground Cactus 7.
Cactus 717 Minneapolis ground wait for Cactus 717 Minneapolis ground wait for pull on to Echo 15 next to you. Then push on to Delta's group with your tail to the southeast, to the northeast rather, and allow enough space to let another aircraft go into the gate area at vicinity of you.
Okay, we're started up and ready to go. So we're ready to taxi at Alley with November. Cactus 717.
Cactus 717, Roger. No worries at all. I thought you were calling for push. Hold your position for me then, please. I'll have your taxi instructions in just a moment.
No worries, Cactus 717. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. That's a very official.
Delta 2291.
Why is it very green in here all of a sudden?
Delta 2291 Heavy.
Delta 2297 Minneapolis ground. Good evening. Hold on the gate. Call you back.
Do. Maybe I wasn't supposed to push. Pull the chute.
And ground Southwest 3762. We are.
So you had to call up. You had to call up clearance to basically get permission to then call up ground, so you could get permission to push back and start.
Taxi via
I don't know how I feel about that.
Delta Charlie 2 Mike Sierra.
It sounds like everybody's talking through a JPEG being re-JPEG for the 15th time. Yeah, that's pretty much the truth, Brown Bag.
17 via Delta.
VATSIM's
Charlie
audio
2,
quality is
Mike
so
2,
bad.
Mike Sierra Kilo.
But it's fun to fly on here
for
and
Delta
participate in the
3762.
events and see some traffic and kind of all that, because you don't get this a lot on Pilot Edge, and you pretty much get this every single Friday on VATSIM.
Wings 137 Minneapolis.
And truthfully, the Minneapolis guys run a good show. They're pretty solid up here. So
Cactus 717 runway 12 left. Taxi via Charlie 6, Charlie and Papa.
1-2 right, Charlie 6, Charlie and Papa. Cactus 717. Let's go.
Cactus 717 runway 12 left. Taxi via Charlie 6, Charlie and Papa.
1-2 left, Charlie 6, Charlie Papa. Cactus 717.
Cactus, American 2086. Just use caution for the outbound America West Boeing 737.
Ah! I'm cutting your ass off.
Delta 2292, push approved.
Aussie Benny H, you can get him through Navigraph. I think that it uses the default, like it uses the default X-Plane 10 navigation or navigation database. So you can copy your X-Plane 10 navigation database to your custom data folder. If you remind me up in Cruise, I can show you where that's at. But copy that to the X-Plane 11 folder in custom data, and then that's where the jar will read from.
3762, no, as you cross it, you can go ahead and monitor the tower at 126.7.
Okay, I misunderstood you. We'll go over 126.7 Alpha 3762. Thank you.
Quebec, Papa's next.
Wait 137, wait for an American Airbus to pull onto his gate behind you, and then push onto Delta as a group with your tail to the north.
Wait for the Airbus behind me to pull into the gate and push to the north approved. Sure, wing 137.
Yeah, that's ground up 713, cleared up 5.
I like the little bit of bounce that they've added in when you hit the brakes. I don't know if that's X-Plane or if that's the jar doing that, or I'm sorry, IXEG doing that.
You can pull below Gulf Gate, which is directly in front of you.
Free is free, that's right. The events make it fun, though. I mean, you know, whatever. Like, the quality of the ETC's there. It is what it is, but the events are what make this interesting.
Sure, wings 137, you can begin your push now. You can push your tail now into the alleyway.
Pushing that straight wing 137.
Ground, Cactus 717 is holding short 22 at Papa.
Cactus 717 cross runway 22 and monitor the tower 123.905.
Cross 22 and monitor tower 123.905, Cactus 717. Great night.
Good night.
Ground Delta 6 ready to push and start the Gulf Gate.
23.
We'll pushing starting on Bravo.
Retard.
95.
Minneapolis ground push approved.
W. Dozel! W. Dozel, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. Appreciate it. Mr. Dozel, if I recall, I met you at FlightSimCon last year. I think we were sitting at the table for dinner. Unless I've got somebody completely different. Mr. Chow, good to see you. Jahardy, welcome aboard. 8 Key 12, welcome aboard. Big C4T53, good to see you. X-Plane Pilots, good to see you. All the cool kids coming out.
17, runway 12 left, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 12 left, Cactus 717. That was awkward. Okay, let's go continuous. Oh, dude, they even modeled the bounce and the compass there. That's kind of cool. All right, lights, strobes. APU can come off. Okay, lights, camera, action. 2, 3. Okay. A beer for flying on VATSIM. Thank you very much for the beer for flying on VATSIM. Cheers.
Cactus 717, runway
Appreciate it.
left. Fly runway heading. Go for takeoff. Wind 07.
Go for takeoff 12 left, runway heading, Cactus 717. There's a center line on there somewhere. All right, what is runway heading anyway? 12 is going to be about 120. All right, let's get out of here. Engines up. Stable. Ooh, hey, it went into like full toga mode. It totally ignored my D-rate. Whatever. 80 knots. I guess the plane is saying D-rates are for wimps. V1, VR. Positive rate, gear. Glide slope? What are you talking about?
Cactus 717, contact departure. Yeah.
Departure 717. We'll see you. Have a great night. All right, autopilot. Should have punched in departure, but I'm an idiot and didn't do that.
2292.
24/7.
Minneapolis Departure continuing southwest, 2063, 5,700.
We're still plugging these engines pretty hard. Oh, the auto throttle's not on. I armed the auto throttle.
That's Southwest 2063 calling.
Well, that explains a lot.
2063 coming up to 7,000.
Southwest 2063, sorry about that, I was on my own on there.
Oh, we can go to 7,000.
Turn right, direct, alright.
17,000.
I screwed that up. I completely hosed that departure. Holy crap. Departure Cactus 717, 4,100 climbing 7,000.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis departure, radar contact, turn right heading 140.
Right, 140, Cactus 717. Wow, I really screwed that one up. Yeah, checklists, nah, we don't need checklists. Rocket power indeed. I approve. What's the route? We're flying to Osh Kosh. Flying to Osh Kosh.
Cactus 717, climb maintain 17,000, direct Zumbro.
17,000 direct Zumbro, Cactus 717. 17,000. Did you guys hear that? I haven't even had that much to drink. Legs. Zumbro. Up there. Execute.
Southwest 2063, contact Minneapolis Center 13135.
And we'll go to LNAV.
13235, Southwest 2063.
Put it in VNAV for the climb. Bring in our outside lights. Turn off our ignitions. After takeoff. Gears in, lights out, flaps in, indicated. Lights are set.
Departure.
Ignition off. Good enough. Let's get out of here.
Southwest
How did that get up
3763,
there?
Minneapolis departure, radar contact, climb maintain 17,000, turn right direct RX.
I just like working tomorrow because I can't have a beer. Bummer.
Okay, right direct.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to the beach tomorrow, so like tomorrow is going to be all about eating and day drinking. It's going to be a good time. Do a full throttle flyby of Osh Kosh. Yeah, we'll see. There's going to be Chicago Center online, so I don't know if he's going to. He might just let me go when I get to Osh Kosh. I'm actually not sure what he's doing. Hey, there's somebody else coming here with me too. A couple people? A couple guys going to Osh with me. All right. Hope you guys get out of there soon. 10,000 feet, lights. Up we go. How's my tablet holding up in flight training, and what do I use? The tablet is doing fantastic. I'm incredibly happy. I have an iPad mini. I've been very happy with it. I will say I did have some issues with overheating, which I kind of knew. So I ended up, I had it on my knee, on a knee board, and
Cactus 717, contact Minneapolis Center 125.3. 135.7.
135.7, Cactus 717. 35.7. We'll come back to that. Okay, 12.5 for 17. Minneapolis Center, Cactus 717, 12,900, climbing 17,000.
Cactus 717, Minneapolis Center, climb maintain flight level 290.
Climb maintain flight level 290, Cactus 717. All right, 29,000. Up we go. Yeah, so I had it on a knee board, and it worked. Like it wasn't bad, but so two problems I ran into. One is it overheated, and two is it wasn't in my scan. Like I couldn't see it very well. So I ended up just a couple weeks ago buying a RAM mount, a suction cup mounted RAM mount. So if I pull up a super boring flying video, I can show you where it's sitting. GoPro, U. So if we take a peek, you'll kind of see right there. So the iPad sits there on the left side of my instrument panel. It blocks like the very, very, very left side of my airspeed indicator, but it's blocking where it's red, so it's like I can't go that fast anyway. And it just sits there, and there's a couple things. There's a couple like rubber things that hold it in place, and it's fantastic. So this I've used for my last 2 flights. I used it on Sunday when I was flying around doing aerial work or maneuvers, and then I was using it last night when I did my my night cross country, and I'm very, very, very happy with the RAM mount. So I've bought a whole bunch of like 5x11 notepads. So I put the notepad on my kneeboard, and now I have pen and paper to write on that. And then I have the iPad mounted next to me where I can. It's in my scan. It's very easy to look at, and I don't think it's going to have the overheating problems that it had on my knee.
And you're American 132.
But so far so good. Yeah, I mean I carry paper charts too. I did my two dual cross countries. I did using pretty much just all paper, because again my tablet was overheating and I was having issues. So that like I can sit down and read a paper chart. I can navigate off of a paper chart, but it's a lot easier to use the tablet for it. Don't have to worry about it up here in Alaska, but I have to get a new one. Yeah, I mean I have an iPad Mini, and the iPad Mini is very, very nice. I know Max. I don't know if Max is still here. Max has a 9.7-inch iPad Pro that he swears by. I've heard a lot of guys say the iPad Pros are a pretty good size. Green Bay Center should be controlling. Well, there is no Green Bay Center. There's going to be Chicago Center once we get out there. Maybe a Green Bay approach, but Chicago Center was going to have us if they want us.
Minneapolis Center, Delta 3231.
I'm planning for runway 9 at Osh Kosh.
Delta 3231 Minneapolis Center, say airspeed.
From Mach 0.8, 3231.
Indicated airspeed, please.
Where are you flying out of? I was a DWC guy. I don't know what DWC is. I'm doing my training out of Lawrence, so Lima Whiskey Mike, just north of Boston.
Just speed 300, 3231.
What is my favorite plane to fly? In the real world or in the sim? In the real world, it's whatever I happen to have the keys to that day. In the sim, I don't really have a favorite plane. I spend a lot of time in a lot of different planes, and it kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. That's a cop-out answer. Tyson Harris, good to see you. What GA planes would I recommend in X-Plane 11? What kind of GA do you want to fly? Do you want to fly glass cockpit and fast? Do you want to fly low and slow bug smasher? Do you want to fly a Cherokee, a Cessna? Like what kind of, like GA is kind of broad. Do you want to have 2 engines, 1 engine, a turboprop, a small jet? Like what are you looking for? Daniel Webster College up in Nashua. I have not flown into Nashua, but we're out of Lawrence, so we're not too far from Nashua anyway.
Oscar 25, 300.
Do I listen to country music? No, not really. I listen to a lot of 90s alternative rock and like mid-2000s electronic music. And OGM Pilot, welcome aboard. Happy Friday.
Nah, I don't think so. I'm going to do inbound that stuff.
Is the IXEG 737 worth it? In my opinion, absolutely.
No,
I think this is one of the, if not the best. It's one of the best planes in X-Plane. I'm not going to say the best. I'm not going to call any plane the best, but this one is definitely like top notch, and I would recommend it to anybody. How far in depth do you think the flight factor A320 will be? Better than the JAR, FS Labs A320 level, Aerosoft A320 level. So they're shooting for like FS Labs level of A320. I know more, but I can't say more. But they're shooting for a proper study level simulation, and it's probably going to blow JAR out of the water in every way imaginable, including the price. Like I imagine that it's going to be a fairly expensive plane when it comes out. Most bugs can get out of the way of a GA training aircraft. You're actually quite right. College shut down. FBOs were there. Had 50 Cessna 172 Moonies gliders. Blah 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 blah. Interesting. That's crazy, man. Yeah, no, I've never even really been up to Nashua. Yeah, it's a bummer to hear about the Linkin Park lead singer. Like, I actually didn't mind Linkin Park. I like some of their later stuff too, where they were getting a little more experimental. Like some of their albums. Was it 10,000 Suns? I think I really enjoyed that album where they kind of did something completely different. Moderately fast piston single or twin GA planes are what I'm asking about. Yeah, so check out the Pipistrel Panthera by Aerobask. Check out the check out the Twin Comanche by V-Flight Air. I don't know. Check out the Baron with the rep pack is still pretty good. I don't really fly that too much.
52, Chicago Center 17.8.
Yeah, I think the Twin Comanche and the Panthera are probably your two best bets. Panthera's got a nice glass cockpit, probably one of the best cockpits in X-Plane. The Twin Comanche by V-Flight Air is just a really neat airplane. If you want to do turboprops, not bad. The E1000 by Aerobask is good. Basically, anything by Aerobask or anything by V-Flight Air is a good safe bet. With the exception of the V-Flight Air Cirrus. I know they're working on that. It's still got it's still got a ways to go. But I think it still needs some work. He wasn't calling for me, was he? I like the Boeing 777. Yeah.
Minneapolis.
A lot of people like the Boeing 777. Traycon's next to a bar. Oh, I forget the Traycon's up there. Yeah.
American 1803 Minneapolis.
All right, so Chicago will be next, 27.8. Can be pretty much sure of that. So we can tune that in. Get it ready, but we're not actually gonna, move over to it yet. Is there a mount for iPad with fans built into it? Little pricey. We'll probably just find another solution. If you can't figure anything else, there's this. Yeah, I looked into the cooling case for the iPad. Honestly, I think having it up in the air off my lap would be enough. The problem is when it was on my knee, like there was no air circulation there, and it was directly exposed to the sun. So I have a couple of options when I kind of lift it up myself. Is I can have it getting more airflow over it because it's getting a lot of the ambient air that's sort of flowing around the cabin, and I can take the case off of it too if I have to, because I have mine sitting in a case right now. But we'll find out. I mean, I'm going to probably try to go flying next week, and that'll be a good test of whether it's going to hold up, hold up in the cockpit. What am my dream plane to fly? I don't really have a dream plane to fly, man. Truly, I truly don't. I'll fly. I want to fly everything. Chicago Duffy, welcome aboard. Good to see you. Have I seen the Kodiak Quest G1000? I have. I'm not a big fan of it, James.
3231 to send the killer.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Quest Kodiak. I don't really care for Carenado's G1000. I think it's got a lot of rough edges, and the fact that it doesn't support procedures kind of defeats the entire purpose of a G1000. Val Dudes! It's good to see you, buddy. How you doing, man? I don't get to see Val Dudes in my stream very often. He's usually busy at the night. You gonna go live later tonight, or did you just finish up, Val? Didn't realize iPads had cooling issues. I mean, they really don't, except when you're in a cockpit like I'm in an airplane that has no air conditioning and the sun is beating down right on it, and it's sitting on my knee, encased in a knee board. Like there's just no circulation getting over it. So yeah, I mean, it's going to get real hot when it sits there. And you just you take it out and you hold it in front of one of the air vents or whatever, and that'll cool it down enough that you can use it again. But it's definitely something to consider. Everybody talked about it. I'm like, it's not going to be a problem. What ended up happening? I'm like, my first my first dual cross country. My instructor looks at me and says, "What are you going to do if that thing fails?" I'm like, well, I have paper charts in the back. I got my phone. Like, I have plenty of ways to navigate. I know the area pretty well. And no kidding, 5 minutes after he says that, my iPad shuts down from overheating. I was like, well, I guess we'll use the paper charts. So I rummaged around in the back. I found my paper chart that I'd gone through and marked the whole thing up. Is that for me? I had gone through and marked my chart up and written everything down and whatnot, so I was prepared to navigate.
Cactus 717, contact Chicago Center 127.8.
27.8, Cactus 717. We'll see it.
Southwest 1162, send to maintain 5,000.
Oh, this guy's a fast talker.
Maintain 5,000.
Let's pop that in there. So we have a descent marker. Oh, he's a mumbler. One of these guys is a mumbler. Chicago Center, Cactus 717, flight level 290.
Cactus 717, Chicago.
I don't use a Stratus, I use a Stratix. So STRATUX. It's a Raspberry Pi based unit that does very similar things.
1357 American 2355.
But yeah, I have the weather. I have weather, GPS, and traffic when I'm up in the air.
Right. Turn right, heading 070 vector.
Colonel's positions an upgrade for their customers of the X-Plane 10 aircraft make the G1000 look great. Well, they can make the thing look great, but it's not really very good. My opinion.
152. Turn right, heading 080 vectors to final.
Have an i5 3570 GTX 770, but upgrading i5 to a newer AMD Ryzen or 1070 give you better performance. I mean, they'll both give you better performance.
Roger, 080.
You probably are going to see better gains going from the 770 to the 1070, to be honest. I think the clock rates on the 3570 and the Ryzen 7 are going to be fairly comparable, at least for X-Plane. Me for 95, good to see it. Oh, okay. Sorry, Benny, I get you now. Yeah. Their position on the upgrades are, as one might say, piss poor. I follow.
Active 717, college discretion with sentiment 7,000. The Oshkosh altimeter 290.
7,000 my discretion, 89 on the altimeter, 717. And we're going to look for the RNAV 9er into Osh Kosh if we can get it 717. All right, we're gonna start down a little bit before that top of descent marker. It's saying 15 nautical miles. We'll go ahead and start down now.
We'll be heading at 080, so it's going to be vectors for 22 left.
So we'll do 18,000 feet. 0.70 on the speed. Transition's going to be to 280 knots. So when we hit 280, we'll go to speed, or we'll go off of Mach mode into IS mode. Yeah, I'd say go for the 1070. Like, the 3570 is not fantastic, but it's also, it's also not terrible. Like, CPUs have advanced, but not as much as you might think. The 770, having used a 770 previously, the 770 to the 1070 is going to give you an enormous return for your investment. Like, without question, it's going to be a big return.
Although 627 fighting 100.
Yeah, so clock rate is most important in X-Plane 11, yes.
100 final.
Oh, Benny, you were asking about nav data earlier. So, if you... Let me show you how I have my navgraph set up. So I'll show you how I have my nav data set up. All right. So in the add-on mappings, I have X-Plane. I have an X-Plane 11 definition that's X-Plane 10. And then I have the X-Plane GNS 430, 777 Worldliner, 757 Professional, so on and so forth. This is what you want to see. The GNS 430 from X-Plane 10 is what you want to have.
20 Chicago Center.
And you want to put that in your custom data folder. So I have a manual location for that. I have it set to the custom data GNS 430 folder. So this is the location. This is the location that the JAR A320 and a lot of other planes are going to look for your nav data. Same deal with the Aerobasket stuff. So X-Plane 11 custom data GNS 430. So that's what you want to have set up. Custom data, GNS 430, that guy. And so JAR is going to read the files out of here for its nav data. if that makes any sense. I'm at that point in the night where I'm kind of losing my brain a little bit, so if I say things that don't make any sense, be like, hey, say again.
Plus 152, 6 hours, 2 off.
Yeah, I mean, the 1080 is huge. Do you think Crazy Layman are adding the 530, 430 GPS, the default airliner FMS to X-Plane Mobile? I mean, it's kind of weird, but whatever, they may as well.
3, I think it's one. How about this? I can give you the RNAV X-ray for X2 left. What about you start putting that in?
This guy needs to slow down. Like he's just he's not really impressing anybody by talking at 1,000,000 miles per hour.
That's fine. Let me know when you have it.
Okay, go ahead, Senator.
No idea what that guy just said. Default clouds, default weather. Yep.
KLM 3264, would it be alright if I switched to the KMSP ATIS for like 2 seconds to check the arriving runway?
Miles per hour is now a unit for talking speed, yeah. Like, I think I talk pretty fast, and I consciously try to slow myself down.
Southwest 1, 62 flying 050.
But, yeah.
050, Southwest 1.
The X-Enviro has been having tons of problems for me. So I went back to stock weather, stock clouds for now. Well, I'll probably, I mean, I'll go back to X-Enviro once they kind of have everything figured out. But it's not ready yet. I have 2 980 Ti Poseidons. Well, the SLI stuff doesn't do you any good in X-Plane, because X-Plane does not support SLI. Now, I think actually P3D supports SLI, but X-Plane definitely does not.
Chicago, Punta Uni, China 453, but level 230.
Do a weather refresh. I have a button on my joystick bound to regenerate the weather. So it goes, it downloads, and then it reads and it generates the whole weather for me. How do you get such good default clouds? I have no idea. What is your call sign? The CCA 453? Well, that's not what he was asking for. No, these are I don't know. All I did was install default clouds. Yeah, supposedly the 1.7 update for X-Enviro is basically a total rewrite. Like, I saw they were updating the forums today talking about them, but who knows when the hell we're going to see anything.
I'm with you, Flight Level FedEx 472.
What's coming up next after the Titan XP? Probably an 1100 series card. Cruising to Osh is McShooty Pilot. Awesome.
I got Southwest 6.
I'm going to be down in less than 10 minutes.
Southwest 627, Yeah, Southwest 627, we were seeing for the ATIS 13 center. Are we changing that runway?
Yeah, Southwest 627, if you can, programming the RNAV for 22 left.
Alright, Osh Mitar.
The RNAV for 22 left.
Refresh all. Overcast 3500. 29er, 89er. We're definitely going to fly that RNAV in there.
Minneapolis 5.74. American 1409, American 1409, Chicago Center, Minneapolis, 135.7.
Sorry, I muted my mic there. 35.7, American 1409, good night.
Said no airline pilot ever. It is tough to be piloted, yeah. It makes me when I do one of these nights on VATSIM, I appreciate Pilot Edge a lot, that's for sure. Imagine if it was the old default clouds. Oh my gosh, we'd be getting like 5 frames per second right now. Like, the old default clouds were so bad. Right now we are. Right now we're up.
137 with your flight level 330.
Right now we're approaching the Zavix intersection.
118.7 here.
I'm not even sure what we're near.
627.
Cast Rock Lake, or Castle Rock Lake, it looks like.
North Emirates A380, Super A380, level 5,000, not talking to the appointment tank.
All right, we're looking log clock over here, but we're looking, we'll let you know, Southwest 67.
Bring that nose up a little bit.
See him now, Southwest 67.
Ah, let's get the approach plate up here. Heat up.
Maintain visual separation, Southwest 67.
Heat up, we want to cross at 3,000.
264.
And clouds and moisture, but it's 6 above Celsius, so we're not worried about icing.
Speed 320 knots.
Oh my god, dude, the voice quality is really starting to get to me. Does the game seem like in-flight emergencies? Yeah, you can have problems.
Yeah, 64.
You can absolutely find yourself having issues. I'm gonna take an 18 into Osh. I'm planning on runway 9er. Because 18 would be like right now. If you're going to Osh Kosh, 18 would be unrealistic. For a jet, like they would be bringing the jets in on 9 and 27, if I recall.
That's a Southwest 627?
No, it's Emirates 2327.
Okay, I think the north-south runway is just used for VFR arrivals. I don't know for certain, but these are default clouds.
With you, coming to 7,000.
Yeah, I loaded up earlier. Everything looked like it was fine. The flyby. I don't think we're going to do the flyby. Less than 10C, you should worry about icing. We're all right. We're above 10C now. Believe me, X-plane is very defined. At 0 degrees Celsius, you have icing. At 0.1 degrees Celsius, you have no icing.
Everything Chicago Center is Delta 292 heavy with you right now at level 360 or 370.
I'm near Addons, Wisconsin. Okay.
2292 heavy.
I don't need a lot of space though to land this thing. I can land this thing in 4,000 feet. Besides, if I landed on 18, dude, I'd have an endless taxi to get back to the damn terminal. So I'm looking for 9 so I can get to parking. Get to parking and get to the bar. Alright, coming up on 10,000 feet. Oh, we get speed back. Oh boy. Let's get the nose up a little bit here. Get that speed back.
Yeah, having for 1162. Due south 180.
I almost forgot. Speed's coming back. Ignition continuous. Bring the inboards on.
I go Gulf, Lima uniform Quebec. Cross that at 4,000. Put on as 6 2
Okay, we should get a clearance. We can approach clearance fairly soon.
That was Southwest 627, wasn't it?
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what he's saying.
Chicago, bud.
Famous last words, yeah. Story of my life.
Chicago, Air China 452, request descent.
Air China 453, near the flight 4 arrival. Midway, correction, O'Hare, information Mike.
Okay, we'd like 4,000 feet if you can give it to us.
Air China 453, descend via the flight 4 arrival. Okay.
Huh. I think somebody's having a little trouble with the language, with English proficiency there. Runway 9's got a weight restriction? I don't know. Never heard of a weight restriction. It's a 6,000 foot runway. I think we're going to be okay.
I have no idea where I'm going.
I have no clue where I'm going. There it is.
That's Southwest 1162.
Oh boy.
Southwest 3116. Traffic Minneapolis Center 135.
Oh, man. Declaring you can get anything. That's right.
16, we'll see, thanks.
Southwest 1162 flighting 030. This is going to be vectors back to the RNAV X-ray 22 left. Maintain 3000.
RNAV X-ray, where the hell is he going?
030, maintain 3,000 vectors back to the RNAV.
Give your call sign.
Okay. Is anybody else lost?
That's it right there. That's the one.
Center, we're expecting Nanner left or he's on the west side.
Is anybody else lost? That is going to be the title of the stream. Has to be.
Delta 1503, 50, anybody else lost?
Looks like the worst of the one is on the west side, so if you can take a Nanner left, that's available.
Yeah, the controller.
The
controller does not seem the least bit amused by what is happening right now.
Right, 0 Delta 1503.
How long has he been going?
1503, just
He's only been online for an hour 15.
1503.
Spring chicken mode. You gotta get me lower though, buddy. 20 miles away, 7,000.
No information. Papa is not.
Chicago, Cactus 717. Can we get clearance for the RNAV runway 9er into Osh Kosh?
Cactus 717, if that's what you like, that's what you'll get.
Please, sir. I only asked because I'm supposed to be fourth.
Cactus 717, are you all programmed up?
Ready to go.
Cactus 717, clear direct heads up at 3000, clear RNAV, runway 9er.
All right, direct head up at 3,000, cleared on F, runway 9er, Cactus 717, thanks. Am I all programmed up? Come on, who do you think I am?
Center Spirit Wing 73 at some takeoff.
All right, let's get the speed back 210.
Right, 773 Chicago, coming to Public 30. Chicago level 19. Okay.
All right, we need speed brakes now.
Coming to Public 320.
I'm in 320.
For as pathetic as those speed brakes are, they don't really do a whole lot.
62 clear exhausted, cross exhausted at 4,000, clear on X-ray, run another correction.
In fact, there's the runway right there.
If they're direct exhaustive, that's at 4,000, clear ILS. X-ray to do it.
All right, let's just get her slowed up, get her dirtied up.
Delta 627 contact, Deadblade Tower 18.7, take landing.
Okay, ref, index, approach.
47 Kilo Tango level 190.
We're gonna go flaps 40 for this one.
Here we go, we got Southwest 627.
40/131.
18.7.
Chicago Center, good day, Southwest 74, we need to return to Midway.
74 flying 060.
This controller is gonna, he's gonna lose it. What's it? No, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're turning. You're doing the procedure turn. That's, I don't want to do the procedure turn. I want to go direct.
American 234 Heavy, do we have a runway assignment?
Oh, dear God.
234 Heavy.
It was going to do the procedure turn there, and we don't actually have to do that.
Alice 10 left, thanks. American 234 Heavy.
Alright, whatever. My airplane. I got the runway inside anyway, so. Way to land. Runway 9er, Cactus 717. Right. 131. He sounds. That person sounds distressed. Here.
Another aircraft calling Chicago Center, Southwest 506.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And auto brake 2.
Southwest 506 for the contact,
speed brake armed. Alright, we got this. Flaps are indicating 10. Let's go 15.
Estimate vectors background for your descent. Sorry, that's a little higher.
Alright, 360 on,
Turn the flight director off. He ain't doing me any good right now. I
I
gotta go practice my RNAVs apparently.
Turn right heading 180, descend and 4,000.
Okay, so we got a right to left, 7 knots.
can you say that again, American?
25, 30, 40. Go flaps full.
Turn right heading 180, descend and maintain 4,000.
180 down to 4,000, ready for heavy.
Okay, my aircraft, gears down, 3 green. Flaps are set and indicated. Lights are set. Auto brake is armed. Speed brake is armed. Speed's coming back.
190,
Let's turn that light off. We're still a little on the high side, but that's all right. I can work with that.
Should maintain 7,000.
Nothing like 1,500 feet from it on the approach here. We'll call this a tactical approach.
Delta 356, Delta 356, traffic Minneapolis Center, 132.35.
Less of them, more of my plane. This Osh Kosh scenery is pretty good, by the way.
Level 3. Delta 36, Delta 356, traffic Minneapolis, 132.35.
Still 2 whites. I'd like a white and a red at some point, please.
London 224, flighting 270,
There we go.
Minimum.
Continue landing. There's a bump in the runway. That's the one. Somebody was talking about that.
40. Hey, 270, back to the descent, American 234. Sorry, I thought you said a different call time.
Ah! That would be what somebody was referencing. I missed that. Thanks, Vision Bite. And we're getting off there. Well, that happened. The landing was kind of nuts. The plane wouldn't flare either, which is kind of my own damn fault. Just spit on my monitor. But yeah, then there was that whole thing that happened where the runway was... Gotta find somebody who can fix that for me. I'm not that smart. Alright. Bring her in here, crank her around.
Retard.
Oh.
Retard. Retard.
Yeah, right. I should clean the plane up. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, Cyrus, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support, sir. Cheers. Nah, Jahardy, I'm done for the night, man. It's 4 hours. That is enough for me. We'll go watch some replays and we'll kick it out of here. Just kill the plane. Just kill it. Get rid of it. We're done. We'll do the replay. That was sporty. That bump sucks. I don't understand why it's there. It's flat, and then suddenly it's not flat. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, replay mode. That was a lousy approach. Nightmare Frame, good to see you, man. Good to have you back, Mr. Pilot, Mr. Alaska Pilot Dream. Do I have to set it to record to get playback? No, X-Plane records automatically. Yeah, I was too slow. I got no flare out of it. Like, that was bad. And then you had that. Dude, that was insane. Look at this. Okay, so here's where I'm too slow. Got too much flare coming in. I tried to pull back and nothing happened, so we bounced it. And we're good. And then we ran off the edge here. And then it was like, oh crap. Oh crap. Interesting. That's not actually marking the edge of a runway. I hit shift 3 and it doesn't go to the runway. Alright, one more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for tonight. That was fun. Is anybody else lost? I don't think I will ever hear that again. I don't think that's proper. I don't think that's in the lexicon anywhere for an air traffic controller, but whatever, man. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure. It's been a blast. It's been a hoot. And any other adjectives we can think of to describe this evening. We're probably going to go talk to Alan here, talk to Rush. Let's see who's live, though. Let's see. AeroSim's live, so we'll go say hi to him. He's in the he's in a 747, so that's gonna be fun. So guys, thank you again. Hope you guys all have a lovely evening. We'll be back on Wednesday with some more No Man's Sky, and yeah, we'll see ya. Toodles. You can go watch Trash Man too if you want to. He's a lot more fun during the day when he's doing trash, though.